Yeah, it's really hard to come back and play well facing these teams over and over again, especially when you come out with a 1-0. You'd like to think that they can bring it just a little bit stronger this time, maybe get another goal or two lead. The weather conditions really affected play. I mean, in my opinion, you always seems to take the harsh weather can actually take a great team and a middle-level team and almost even them out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The weather beautiful today, sunny, a few clouds up there, but more or less a beautifully sunny day. I think also the difference between the men's rescheduled game and the women's rescheduled game, a 1-0 lead is a lead, but it's not dominating. The women, on the other hand, who just got done beating New Mexico Highlands 2-1, they were up 4-0. So
yeah.
They really had a stamp on the game. It wasn't a catfight of a game. And for them to have to come back and face a team, it gives the other teams opportunities to make adjustments and those sorts of things. So nonetheless, it's a difficult situation to be put in, having to face a team, 2 days later after a delay and a few minutes of playing. So look for Fort Lewis to come out strong and really attack the game, though.
Yeah, and one thing that we always, we need to always remind the folks at home is that, you've played 68 minutes of a game. You basically got a preview of what you got to face again, and both teams should be able to make adjustments. It becomes very tactical, kind of a game of chess a little bit with the coaches on what they do to counter what the other team might bring to them. We're just coming into the announcement of the players. The refs are actually on the center of the field now. That gust of wind is getting harsher and harsher over time. It's more of a steady blow right now from south to north. And right now they're adjusting or announcing the Adams State players.
Yeah, Fort Lewis in their baby blue and light yellow striped tops with baby blue shorts and socks. Adams State in their green tops and socks with white shorts. Both teams looking sharp, and both teams really want a result here today.
Yeah, I know Adams State last year facing Fort Lewis lost the first game, I believe it was 2-1, and the second game 1-0. And they've been managing to stay tight and close with Fort Lewis. I know they'd love to get on the other side of that and come out with a win of their own. Obviously Fort Lewis has an opinion on that matter as well.
Yeah, they'd like to continue putting their stamp on as they're doing better and better in their conference. They're currently ranked 22nd in the nation, so that's something they don't want to take for granted and put their heads down and lose the work rate. Very talented group of boys. The coaching staff has a lot of tools to use. It's just about putting them together in the right fashion and really letting the boys bring their game.
Yeah, and I think in time when we've watched Fort Lewis play as they develop, they absolutely are great at controlling the back two-thirds of their field, possessing the ball, even choosing to bring it back all the way to their defensive third, content to change angles, or maintain possession, and work the ball in different directions. Where we still see a little bit of work to be done is just kind of getting those finest shots to happen at the top. And it's, I think, mostly a play of just trying to figure each other out as teammates and how to exploit the weaknesses of the opposing team.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously with playing a 4-5-1, it's a little bit different of a formation. So you've got one big target boy up top. A lot of times it's been Luke Lawrence as of late, but it doesn't create the numbers going forward straight away. So whether it's Luke or Tamino Kroger, that position really is to draw the rest of the team into the attack. It's not so much pitting that one forward against their four defenders. That's a really an unrealistic task to ask of a forward. So really I think the goal is to kind of play it into him, play it back into the midfield, and then we can start to get our outside midfielders forward and the three center midfielders forward to join that high forward.
It really is classic play when you deal with a 4-5-1. You've got that one guy up top. He's got to move quick with it, bounce the ball back. Using those five players, they're the ones that ultimately create the overlapping run and then can come up with either nice crosses or strikes into the net. It's a difficult position to play. It's kind of naturally off balanced, more in tune with defending, but it can be a great counterattack. You can switch to a 4-3-3 really fast with it. And as long as the players are up to the task, it can be a really a nice formation to work with.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the goal too for both men and women are similar, even though they do play a different formation slightly. The goal, I think, is to get the ball into the center forward's feet, and then have him drop it back into the center midfielder for your outside midfielders or your second forward in the ladies' case on some through balls and stuff like that. So really looking for combination play, not so much one player oriented are the Fort Lewis teams. They really like to get that ball moving and link up and connect passes. So look for them to continue going forward in that manner, and we are just about ready for kickoff.
Yeah, both teams are stepping onto the field. We've got Fort Lewis is actually playing on the south end, heading north. They've got the wind at their backs the first half. Adams State, of course, with that wind in their face, playing on the north end. The two teams gather amongst themselves to have one last little chat, kind of a vote of confidence, and try to get this game underway. Refs are heading to the nets to make sure there's no holes or anything sneaky going on there, and the head judge is heading over to the benches to visit with each coach.
Yeah, we've got Fort Lewis defending the southern goal. That'll put the wind at their back initially in the first half. Adams State defending the northern goal. Wind in their face for the first half. Obviously, those things will change in the second half as teams switch sides of the field. But for now, Fort Lewis defending the southern goal. Again, beautiful weather here. Slightly windy. Looks like wind conditions on the field. A little bit windy. Definitely windy up here when we get a little bit higher, and all the flags that are 15 feet above the ground are blowing a little bit. But once the ball's on the floor, it should be able to move around a little bit quickly.
Okay, Fort Lewis will have the kickoff. Back four will be Clower and Brandt in the back, Dirksen on the left, and Piperkov on the right. Play is gone back to Piperkov. He sends up to the line to Alexander, who's got his first start for the season, I think. Up to Kroger up on top. Alexander's pursuing into the defensive third of Adams State. Oh, a little missed bobble there by the keeper. He's going to try to clear it out with his feet. Ended up missing it entirely, and it rolls out harmlessly, but scary.
Yeah, just a swing and a miss, as that was a tough ball back by his defender, the number 3. It was kind of a bouncing ball, not one on the ground, so not kind for the keeper.
Alberto Capdepone is taking the corner. We've got Gibbons up short with him. Two Adams State players are coming up short to challenge that corner kick. Almost everybody else sitting on the goal line. Ball swings in just outside the 6. It gets cleared out by Adams State. Gibbons runs in, gets a piece of it. Does get cleared out again by an Adams State player for a Fort Lewis throw-in.
Actually, I think that deflected off of Gibbons.
Yeah, ended up being an Adams State throw-in. Gibbons gets a head on it, sends it into the middle. Kroger gets a piece of it as well, sits it up to Cap. Capo's looking at the corner, but he sends back over to Dirksen. Dirksen's going to swing it around now. Brandt has it. Now we're going over to Clower. Clower looking up the right side. He long balls it up to Piperkov, but kind of short on that, and Adams State gets a piece of it. Casey Dean coming in on the right-hand side. He's playing in the middle today with Prost and Capdepone.
Yeah, you see Prost sitting a little bit deeper, and Capto and Casey Dean doing some work a little bit higher.
Prost coming in, challenging in the middle. Adams State does have ball. They're carrying up the right-hand side, heading to the south end of the field. Prost ends up winning the ball back and looking for someone to send out to. He drops it to the far right defensive corner to Clower. Clower swings it out to Piperkov, right about half line on the sideline. He ends up on one touching into Alexander. Alexander gets challenged by Adams State, and they win the ball back. Adams State fighting for the ball, looking for whistles, but the ball rolls out for a throw-in for Adams State.
Yeah, a good bit of possession early for Fort Lewis, as they've already linked passes quite often. Another thing I think Capo does really well is he pulls the ball back into the defense just to maintain pressure.
We had a line throw up by Adams State that Clower ended up heading back into the corner, and Packheiser, who's holding net today, actually went outside his 18 to clear the ball out. We've got a throw in for Adams State on their offensive third left side. The throw comes in on the near post 6. It gets headed back out by, I believe that's Brandt.
Yeah, I thought it was Brandt as well, but it gets called for a goal kick.
It seemed like he was the one that had the ball, but I guess it did touch a green before it went out. So.
Yeah, maybe it got deflected.
Pat Kaiser having to go and gather his own ball up there. We don't have any ball boys nearby to help out there, so he's jogging it back over to the 6 for his goal kick. He ends up going short to Clower. Clower, man challenging him. He goes up the right side to Piperkov. Piperkov, he cuts back into the middle, into Dean. Dean gets challenged by 2 players, gets it stripped from him by Adam State. Adam State's got the ball on the line. They try to long ball it up the left side, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a good first touch by Piperkov, excuse me, as it was just a little bit bigger for that defender coming in first time.
Piperkov with a throw to Alexander, who flicks it on up to Kroger. Kroger gets it to Capo. Alexander helping in the middle. Dean there. We got Kroger in the corner now with the ball. One man challenging. Piperkov long balls it into the middle. A keeper smothers it right at the 6.
Fort Lewis really coming of their own. I think early on in the games there was a lack of linking play and that communication and that sort of thing. But as of late, they've really been firing on all cylinders when they choose to.
Adam State's keeper with a long punt up the middle. It's back there with Dirksen. Actually, that would be Brandt challenging in the corner. Ends up being a throw-in for Fort Lewis.
Yeah, Brandt.
It looks like he did get a foul. He's going to get a kick out of that one.
Yeah, good physical player is Brandt, and he's not a huge boy physically, but very, very fit, very cut, very strong.
Brandt sends it over to Pat Kaiser, the keeper for today. Piperkov now has it up the right side. He sends up to Kroger. Kroger gets challenged by an Adam State player. It skirts out of bounds for an Adam State throw-in. Adam State up the line with the ball. Piperkov tries to get a foot on it. Looking for the call. It ends up going Adam State's way for another throw-in just at the edge of their offensive third.
Yeah, I don't think the boys were happy about that. I think it took a deflection after what the referee saw and called was
Adam State with the ball end up getting stripped away, gets sent out of bounds by Fort Lewis. I believe Clower had a piece of that one. We've got another Adam State throw-in.
Yeah, the wind is picking up a little bit, as you noticed earlier, Terry. We've got a kind of stronger south to north wind.
Piperkov with the ball at his feet. He tries to shoot it on through to Alexander, and it ends up stripped away. Capo ends up kicking it out of bounds. Adam State with another throw-in on the left-hand side. Now we have 3 balls in the mix.
That's a new
first,
sort of
no
soccer.
ball boys. Now we got lots of ball boys. I should say ball girls. The girls are actually contributing today, helping with the duties of ball management. Capo picks up the ball in the middle. He heads it up to Dean. Dean with a high kick. Ends up being called play on since Adam State ran through the ball. Adam State kicks it on over to Pat Kaiser, who picks it up at his 18. One man pressuring.
Yeah, Adam State looking like they're not going to be super comfortable controlling the ball and confident. They're looking to spring someone early.
Yeah, quick for that long ball up. Long ball by Pat Kaiser up the right-hand side. Kind of a 50-50 ball challenged. Clower ends up picking it up, puts it back in the middle on Alexander's foot. Alexander goes into the corner with it. He's just outside the 18, kind of getting around the corner. And Adam State ends up winning the ball. Still battle.
Good work.
Alexander wins it. Alexander fights and kicks the ball out of bounds again. We got a bit more wind coming up here.
Yeah, it's a bit gusty. As Jordan Alexander, a good bit of pressure there once he did lose the ball.
Yeah, the wind has gotten quite steady here. We're looking at least 15-mile-an-hour wind, steady now from south to north, helping Fort Lewis out anytime the ball goes up in the air. Alexander with a long ball up the middle. Keeper comes out for it, catches it cleanly. He jogs up to the 18, sends it over to the right side to one of his fellow. Ball up the right-hand side. He tries to long ball it up the line, but that wind sure got it held up. Sent it into the bleachers.
Strong hands as he came out, did Adam State.
Dean with a drop back into Pruce. Pruce is carrying the ball up the middle. He's got a little space. He long balls it to Alexander. Alexander looks like he should get a... Lays it out to Piperkov in the back. Piperkov's just outside the 18. Alexander there to help him. Pruce even farther back to help him. They're going to swing the ball back into the middle. Brandt picks it up in the center circle. Brandt carrying the ball over to the left side to Dirksen. Dirksen's got the line to work with, and he works it on up there. Kroger gets a foot on it. Capo and Kroger kind of working things out. Dean ends up with the ball. back to Capo. Capo goes back to Dirksen on the left side. Capo and Dirksen are working together in the corner, just trying to maintain possession. Dean's in there with a foot. Capo's still working the ball. Gets a little shove from behind, manages to hang on to the ball. Dirksen lets it go out of bounds. We've got ourselves an Adams State throw-in on the far side in front of their bench.
Yeah, Kroger, a big body target up front. He's a good, solid person to lay the ball into and get it back off of.
Really good at keeping hold of that ball, especially with a lot of pressure on. I would say him and Proust are the best at that on the field.
Yeah, Proust has a great awareness of where he is and where his defenders are.
Alexander has ball in the corner. He sends up to Piperkov, who's overlap run into the edge of the box. They're on the right-hand side. Gets it stripped away by 3 Adams State players. Proust challenges it, deflects back to Brandt. Brandt carries the ball back up again. Pressure's high for Fort Lewis at this time. Everybody's in the offensive half.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Adams State just sitting back or Fort Lewis really bringing it. We'll see if we can unlock the key to it and find some goals, but definitely putting the pressure on Fort Lewis early. We're still 36 minutes to play in the first half, 0-0.
Piperkov will have a ball on the right-hand side about half field. Looking for a throw. He stares down Alexander. Shows up the line to Kroger. Kroger gets a chest on it, puts it into the middle. Adams State gets a foot on it. Back to Piperkov. He goes to middle to Dean. Dean drops to Proust, who's got a little space to work with. He's working left, sends over to Dirksen on the left-hand side. He's carrying up the left line. Little through pass there, no one to go to. Adams State gets a foot on it. Adams State still with possession. Drops the ball. Actually, Kroger there to land a little gimme. We've got Dean on the middle, sends over to Alexander on the right-hand side. Alexander with a nice long ball, just barely gets, or didn't quite get it behind the defender there.
Yeah, looking to find Kroger, and then
we got another little shot by Capo, about 10 steps outside the 18. He sends it over the net. That was a nice little ball by Alexander.
Yeah, it was. He was looking for Kroger over the top, and he had a near post runner as well, so you kind of wanted to see if that defender was going to bite on the near post, and then it would find its way over the top.
Goalie with a goal kick about midfield. Fort Lewis gets their head on it. Dean tries to chase it down. It ends up back in the air again. Clower with his head on it now, challenged by Proust. We got a little bit of a race with Piperkov and an Adams State player. That's number 8 in the left corner. Piperkov doing great defense, staying in front of the ball. Proust there to help out now. Got 2v1. He ends up splitting the Fort Lewis players, but Clower clears the ball up the line and makes it harmlessly back to the Adams State keeper.
Yeah, just a big clear by Clower, trying to get the ball up the field and gain the field defensively.
Adams State with the ball again, working up the left-hand side. They managed to keep it in bounds, getting behind the Fort Lewis defense. Piperkov chasing him down. Brandt able to get in there and disrupt the play. Packheiser now has the ball at his feet. No one's challenging. He picks up the ball and jogs to the 18.
Mike Brandt with a great defensive play. He read it, and he slid over from his center back position to come block that shot, not necessarily commit for the forward to make a move and do something, but he just stood in front of the player.
We're about 12 minutes into this first half. The score 0-0. Fort Lewis did manage one shot. I think they're counting that one harmlessly that went, kind of high over from Capo. Adams State with the ball, carrying it up the midfield, bounces off their top man.
Oh,
They
tight
end up losing the ball. Yeah, it's getting really packed in tight. Fort Lewis is getting a lot of numbers in that defensive third.
That's kind of a benefit of the 4-5-1. You've got a center triangle in the midfield there, and they can really, really compact things in tight and make it hard for other teams.
Almost by default, you end up with 6 players in front of the ball at any given time.
Yeah.
Piperkov has a throw-in on the right side, just at the edge of the offensive third. He's looking for a man to throw to. A little bit of movement there with Alexander and Kroger. He throws into the space between Kroger and Alexander, but Adams State kind of keys in on it. Capo has got the ball on top of the 18. Dishes out to Dean. Dean gets tripped up in the middle. No call by the ref. Gets cleared out by Adams State. Flick back to Brandt. Brandt's working it over to the left side to Dirksen. Dirksen picks it up right at half field. He's looking up the line, uses that. Kind of a 50-50 ball challenge that ultimately is won by Gibbons. Gibbons sends back over to Clower on the right-hand side. He carries up the middle. Little overlapping run by Alexander in the middle. Piperkov's on the outside now. Piperkov fighting with Adams State. Ends up being a Fort Lewis throw-in.
Yeah, he tried some fancy feet work there.
Capo with the ball now, carrying up across the 18, over to Dean, and then now over to Dirksen. Dirksen with little space to work with. He sends up to Gibbons, but it gets intercepted by an Adams State player. Well read by that Adams State player.
Yeah, Fort Lewis doing a really good job of switching the point of attack. Instead of forcing or cramming the ball down the throat where it can't necessarily get, they're really doing a good job of being composed and calm with the ball and feeding it out to an open player, even if it's backwards.
Bit of an opportunity there by Fort Lewis. It gets sent up the left side to the corner. Kroger running it down along with an Adams State defender. Adams State ends up clearing it out, and it becomes a corner kick. Capo is going to take that corner.
And after that tackle, the Adams State player giving Kroger a high five after he kind of took him out a little bit. That's the sportsmanship you like to see at these games.
Yeah, a little respect there from two Warriors battling it out on that far corner. Capo with the ball into the middle. The keeper double fists it out. Pruce has got a shot in. He ends up deflecting off an Adams State player. We're going to have another corner kick, I believe.
Yeah, I think if he put that on frame, it would have been a good chance for a goal. The keeper he dove in the right direction of it, but his feet were so planted and he didn't get a chance to move left to right, really, that he only covered about 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, that number 14 Adams State guy inadvertently had a leg in the way. It kind of went crazy when it hit him. Okay, ball in, far post. Got a head on it. It goes over the net. That was Dean, I believe, had his bead on it all the way through.
Yeah, good corner kick from Dirksen. He looked like he was going a little long, but then Dean correctly on the back post was there wide open, put a header just over the goal.
Yeah, if Dean just had gotten a little higher on that, we might have had something on net. Keeper with the ball, he kicks it up to half line. Pruce gets way up in the air to get a head on it. Adams State wins the decision though, swinging it over to the middle. They drop back into their offense or defense. Try to do a long ball, but that wind's just not going to let them get away with this. They try those long ball kicks, and it kind of dies the minute it gets up in the air.
Yeah, and I think that one kind of bobbled right before the defender kicked it, and it spurted pretty much straight out of bounds.
Gibbons has the ball in the left corner, fighting with Adams State to win it back. Ends up being a Adams State throw-in.
So we've got Johannes Sanders not playing currently, and also Johannes Becker not playing currently.
Yeah, I know that Saunders had a bit of a groin injury in the previous game. They had to abruptly bring him out. Talked to Oogie about it. It actually seemed pretty positive, but you know, groins are a funny thing. They can just agonize you, even though they may not be that serious. They can just mess with you forever.
Yeah, that's a long-term thing that you don't want to get worse.
And it's one of those deals where if you come in too early, you just make it worse. If you wait that one extra break, it can mean all the difference of having a healthy season and a long, drawn-out hurt season.
Yeah. So in place of Johannes Saunders, we've got Clore sliding into the middle of the defense, and then Piperkoff on the right of the defense with Jordan Alexander in front of him.
Adams State with a long ball. They send it into the 18. Packheiser comes up for it, catches it easily and cleanly. He jogs the 18, pretends to roll it out.
He made that look easily and cleanly. He had plenty of traffic around him, but very confident, very composed.
Yeah.
Good hands.
Made it look solid. Pruce wins the ball in the middle. He sends back out to Alexander. Alexander drops over to Piperkoff. Piperkoff into the middle on Kroger. Kroger's going to chip it through. Looks like an Adams State player got a piece of it, messed up his ideas. They've won the ball back, and now they're working up the middle. Drifting into the right-hand side, you got one runner on the right-hand side. He receives the ball. Number 2 gets around Dirksen. Dirksen wins it back, strips him clean, and now is carrying the ball up the left side for Fort Lewis College. He's got a lot of space to work with. No one's challenging him. He long balls to Alexander, unfortunately, just out of reach of his feet.
Yeah, I think that ball would have been better played in the midfield. Dirksen chose instead to carry the ball another 20, 30 yards across the midfield, and by that time, Jordan Alexander just didn't have the space to run onto the ball, and the ball spurted out of bounds.
Yeah, he did run out of pitch there to get that ball gathered up.
Yeah, but if that happens early, he's got a whole half to run on and gather the ball up.
Keeper with the long ball up the middle, kind of dies in the wind. It gets headed back. He's going to pick up that ball now. He actually dribbles it up to the edge of the 18. It's going to be challenged by Kroger. Here comes the kick. It sends up the middle. Lands about midfield, gets flicked up by an Adams State player. Mike Brandt picks it up, dishes back to Packheiser, the keeper. He goes over to the right to Clore. Clore's got some time now. Piperkoff right on the line. Oh, forgot to take the ball with him.
Yeah, unlucky.
Casey disrupts that play. Adam State wins the ball back in the middle. Capo comes back to help out. Now Mike Brandt has the ball on his feet. He sends up to Dean. Dean's on the left-hand side. He drops back to the defense, sending over to Dirksen in the corner.
That midfield triangle is so tough to get around because one player can really be aggressive biting on that ball.
Capo's got the ball in the middle now. He's got some space to work with. He long balls to Alexander. Alexander catches up with it cleanly, crosses it back into the middle again. We got ourselves a nice shot. Oh, and what a great save by the Adam State keeper.
Capo Don on a volley off across from Jordan
that ball
Alexander.
Never touched the ground. That was a great effort by Capo coming in the middle there. That keeper sure looked nice getting that save, though.
Yeah, just a clean volley by Capo, and not a big leg swing, but with the pace of the cross, he just put his foot in the right spot and had to make the keeper make a good save.
Dirksen coming from the left-hand side. He's got that left foot. He's going to swing one in for a corner kick here. He sends it on up near post. It gets flicked out by Adam State. Proust wins the ball outside the 18. He chooses to switch it over to the left side to Dean. Dean puts it back in the middle. Adam State wins the ball and sends it to the right side, 17. Inadvertently, let's see, who did that go off of?
Yeah,
we got
off
ourselves...
of Proust had a good shoulder challenge and then just knocked the ball out of bounds, as that could have been a breakaway, really.
Multiple players subbing in for Adam State at this time. Looks like 3 or 4 are coming off the field for a bit of a break.
That's the line change in hockey.
Yeah. Ball back in play. Fort Lewis wins it. Goes to Adam State. Adam State now has control. They're working back into their defense. Little challenge by Dean. Dean keeping the defense busy. Gibbons came in there hard. Ends up going out of bounds for a Fort Lewis throw.
Good pressure on the Fort Lewis team. By the Fort Lewis team, excuse me.
Capo wins the ball in the middle. He drops back to his defense. Packheiser all the way outside his box, a good 20 steps to make part of that play. Clower picks up the ball and works it up half field. He's up the right-hand side. Piperkov outside. Piperkov flicks one into the middle for Alexander, who's coming up on it. One heavy touch, and it got away from him.
Yeah, just too heavy on that last touch by Jordan Alexander, but he was really getting forward and trying to get behind the defense for a little cross in.
Goalie chasing down the ball for a goal kick. Still that strong, steady wind. Right now it's at Fort Lewis's back. We've got 24 minutes left in this half. The score 0-0. Shots show Fort Lewis with 3. Adam State unable to come up with their first kick at this time. Capo with the ball in the middle. He flicks over the head of a couple of Adam State players, tries to win it back himself. Unable to do so, but he does win it back from a Dean push through. Dean goes outside to Alexander. Alexander's in the corner with one player on. That was a nice idea trying to flick it over, but it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, he just tried to give the self flick.
Proust wins the ball, sends it up the line. It ends up going out for an Adam State throw-in. Adam State throws the ball back. We have stoppage in play for an Adam State substitution.
Yeah, getting back to the midfield triangle, the Fort Lewis, defensively, they're so compact and so tight that one player can really almost stab or be really aggressive defensively, and if he gets missed out, there's always one, most likely 2 players there in good positions to collect. On the other side of that coin is offensively, they're so close that their triangle and their linkage can become easier.
Yeah, I'm a real big fan of the 4-5-1. I know a lot of coaches aren't. My favorite team, Tottenham, plays it a lot, so maybe that's why I tend to focus on it a bit.
Yeah, I'm not typically, but I think the personnel that Fort Lewis has now, I think it really works for them.
Yeah. You have to have a lot of strong players and absolutely have to have a strong striker on top. If you don't have him, it's really hard to turn an offensive play.
Yeah.
Adam State with too heavy of a challenge on the back of Clower. Gets himself a free kick here in the back third.
That's just a good job defending by Clower, putting his body between the ball and the attacker.
Mike Brandt receives the ball now, and he chooses to swing it over to Dirksen right on the left-hand side. Dirksen's got one man in his face. He long balls in. Nice little flick through by Kroger. Gibbons coming in at the top of the box. He's got 2 men on him, looking for an opportunity. He tries to heel it back over to Kroger, but didn't have enough weight on it.
Yeah, just a little bit too much trying to play the way you're not facing by Trevor Gibbons there. But a great run by him and a great flick by Kroger to get him through.
Tamino Kroger with that little heel flick ended up trying to roll it with his cleats. If he'd gotten a heel on it, probably would have had the weight to get there.
And for you youngsters, that ball, Gibbons was already running before the ball even came to Kroger, so he was already in motion in a good position.
Packizer outside his box. He chooses to clear up the line. We got a fight in the middle here for both players. Alexander ends up not winning that fight. Number 3, Adams State, wins the ball, comes into the middle. Fort Lewis, a little bit of a flurry there, ends up clearing the ball out. Capo's got the ball now, coming into the center circle. He flings one up to Alexander, couldn't run it down.
Yeah, that ball just was getting away from him. He had 3 players around him and trying to get through that. Just kind of gave up too heavy of a pass to Jordan over here on the near side.
Adams State with a throw-in on their left side, defensive third. Little short one in, challenged by Kroger. Adams State swinging the ball over to the right-hand side. They end up reversing, going back into the middle, dropping back into their defense again. Trying to work the ball up now, a little more positive work, trying to possess the ball as opposed to that just quick strike.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking the same thing. A little bit more linkage from the Adams State team, not so much just trying to play one player up.
Proust gets ball in the middle, sends back to Clore. Clore carrying it up, swings it over left to Brandt. Brandt's got a little time to work with, goes over to Dirksen on the left-hand side. Little feed through there. We got a tangle up by Kroger and an Adams State player, which keeps Kroger from winning that. Capo comes up with the ball now in the middle, shielding the ball well, keeping possession. He goes over to Proust. Proust flicks up to Dean. Gets hit kind of hard. Actually, that was Gibbons. Gibbons gets hit hard at midfield for a foul. Proust will take this kick right at half line.
Good bit of soccer from both Capo and Proust, just shielding the ball from the opposing players.
Capo and Proust playing it between themselves. Proust over to Clore. Clore gathers up some space, carrying up the middle. He goes over to the right side of the corner. Player. Judge
Yeah. Big challenge, and that ball is a flex.
Kroger.
That's Luke Lawrence, and then his brother Zach Lawrence is out here on the wide right.
Got it.
And then let's see who else came in.
Yeah, Dooley came in for
in the
Dean.
midfield. Yeah, another very, very talented player.
Dirksen in the corner for a corner kick. Zach Lawrence is short for him. He left foots it in. This time far post. It goes over everybody and it's going to roll on out for a goal kick. Adams State.
Yeah, just a little too much meat on that. Goes long. Dirksen likes those corners though, where he can in swing them, especially.
Yeah,
with the
bringing
wind.
him all the way from the left-hand side. Adams State with the kick. He sends it up the middle. Capo looks like he's going to get a piece of it. He does so. A little bit of a fight with Gibbons there. Luke Lawrence picks it up in the corner. He's winning. 2 men on his back. He drops back to Dirksen. Dirksen's going to swing it over to Proust in the middle. Proust with a little bit of a bobble, but wins it back. He long balls into the middle on Zach Lawrence. Zach Lawrence is chasing it down. Adams State has the ball carrying up the left-hand side. Clore clears it out from a through ball sent by Adams State. Capo gets the ball now. He's up in the middle. 4 men on him. He drops it back to Proust. Proust swings out to Piperkov. Piperkov cuts back into the middle. Goes over to Brandt, who's about center circle. Brandt goes up to Gibbons. Gibbons facing away from the goal. Drops over to Dooley. Dooley back over to Dirksen. Nice little try run there. He ends up kind of hurting himself in the motion. Capo's still playing the ball. We got Gibbons down at the moment. Zach Lawrence lets the ball roll out. Not sure if we're going to have stoppage and play for injury at this time.
Yeah,
Gibbons
he's up
shaking
and
it
moving
off.
around. I think not, but a good shield of the ball, which actually found its way in through Capo. So
Not sure if he got a little bit of a tick there from the Adams State player or if he just twisted his own self up. Hard to tell. Play in by Adams State. It goes off a Fort Lewis player for another throw-in. Adams State sends up the line this time. Number 29 of Adams State. It goes off of him. He's giving the ref some looks. Felt like he got kind of tugged on there.
Yeah, I didn't see too much, just physical play.
Piperkov with the throw in. He shorts to Zach. Zach drops back to Piperkov. Adams State wins the ball back and heading up into the middle. They send a long ball into the corner. 29 challenging that, but Mike Brandt easily cleaning it out of bounds.
Again, I think it looked easy. Mike Brandt just such an athlete. These guys make this job look really easy, even though at times may not be as easy as it looks.
Never wanting to steal away from their skill set. If it looks easy, I'm going to say so. But, they need to make it look easy. If it looked hard, they're not doing it right.
Right.
Oh, a little flick through there by Adams State. Went near post. Packheiser gets a hand on it near post. Couldn't quite tell if it was going to go in or not, but nevertheless, he got a piece of it to clear it out.
Yeah, he had it covered, and that was just a little flick off of the forward off the throw-in, and Ryan made a good reaction save on the near post to put it out for a corner kick.
Adams State now has a corner. They're in the southeast corner of the field. They send it on in. It's near post. Skirts on through. Adams State gets a piece of it, ends up shanking it wide.
Yeah, that was a bit of a wild shot, but nonetheless, you kind of got to try that.
Got to pull the trigger every now and then. Never will score.
You know, one thing Proust is doing really well in this game in particular, but in general he does a good job. He's the deep point in the midfield triangle, and he sits right on top of those two center backs, and he gets the ball. He's a really effective pivot man.
We got ourselves a handball here. The ball's about 40 yards out. Capo's going to have ball on feet. Hinted at a quick start, and he does so. He ends up chipping it right over D. That would be Luke Lawrence getting called off sides with the run.
Yeah, that was
a little connection
unlucky.
Between Luke and Capo there. Everybody else was not really paying attention.
Yeah.
Adams State with the ball up the middle, challenged by these Lawrence brothers. Get to say that a lot.
The duo.
Long ball up the corner. Clower puts up to Proust. Proust drops to Brandt. Brandt's facing it, telling Dirksen to get it. Dirksen swings it out to the left side. He's going to keep carrying the ball up. Ends up running out of space and putting it out of bounds.
Yeah, Gibbons had come in to support him, so he wasn't available out wide on the line.
Luke Lawrence with a challenge on Adams State. Adams State comes out better on it, and they're off to the races. Coming into the right side, number 25 in the middle. Little gives and goes by Adams State trying to bring it up. Dooley ends up getting the ball back now. He sends up to Proust, carrying just over half line over to, missed the number there, but Luke Lawrence is coming up on the left-hand side now. I'm sorry, is that his brother?
Nope, that's
No,
Luke
that
up
is
top,
Luke.
yeah.
That is Luke.
And that was a good little through ball by Trevor Gibbons over there on the wide.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it got through as tight of a needle as that was to thread.
Yeah. And Adams State
with the ball.
Adams State defense was not flat. Had they been flat, it probably would have been an offsides call, but the number 14 back there was so deep that Luke had some space temporarily.
Not sure on the call there. It looks like it might have got out of bounds, and it did so. We got to throw in Adams State right in front of their own bench. Fort Lewis wins the ball. Clower carrying the ball up to the midfield. He sends over to the right to Piperkov. Zach Lawrence helping him out. Little give and go play there. Dooley almost gets to the ball. Adams State wins a counterattack, and here they come. Got Clower chasing him down. He wins the ball and sends it out of bounds. It just goes out of bounds. Might have gone in line. It was really close to that flag.
Yeah, and he hit the turf afterwards, so it was looking like he wanted a call, but
looks like he's going to get the call too.
That's kind of a medium call. They gave him the throw in, which clearly Clower kicked it out of bounds, but it also looked like he fouled him. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Fort Lewis swings it over to the left side. Dirksen's got it at his feet, right at their own 18. Sends it up the line, looking for Luke Lawrence. Couldn't win the ball back.
Yeah, and you see that ball coming from the left back, Dirksen bypassing the midfield, trying to get into Luke Lawrence up top and then bounce back to the midfield.
Yeah, and if it hadn't have been for that Adams State player winning on that, Luke definitely would have had something to work with. Zach Lawrence chasing the ball down. Adams State accidentally kicks it out of bounds. We've got about 13 minutes left in this first half. It's 0-0. The shots show 3 for Fort Lewis, none for Adam State, but I do believe one of them shots I would count for Adam State, that outside one that went high.
Yeah.
And even that little flick shot on the near post there, that was something that Pat Kaiser had to deal with.
Yeah, I think the header more so than the shot. The shot fluttered out pretty much wide of the 18 on the byline, but the header definitely could have been considered a shot.
Bruce with the ball in the middle. He switches way over to the right side to Zach Lawrence. Zach's got the ball now. Piperkov overlap running to the corner. Dooley comes to help out, sends back up to Zach. Zach's got Piperkov in front of him. Goes into the middle onto his brother Luke.
Good linkage right here. We've got a
Dooley back to Proust. Proust got some time, no one challenging.
Oof.
Ends up putting it on the feet of an Adam State player who tries to send a long ball up, but Proust wins it back, knocking it down anyway. Adam State carrying the ball up the left-hand side, challenged by Zach Lawrence. He long balls into Clore, ends up getting a hold of that. Now it's on Piperkov. Piperkov flicks over to Proust. Adam State wins that ball over him. Same player, 21, he's carrying the ball up the right-hand side now. Puts it into the corner for Adam State. Adam State's got two Fort Lewis players on him. A bit of shoving and pushing there. Capo wins the ball and then gets shoulder checked. And the call is actually against Fort Lewis.
Huh. That's an interesting call. I'm not sure if the referee is pointing the wrong direction or if he saw something we didn't.
Yeah, line judge and the center judge called for Adam State's favor. They're good, 10 steps outside the 18 at this time on the far side. Pat Kaiser trying to get his players in order. We got one Adam State player down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that call was.
All I can say is they called the play before it. You know, the two players coming on Fort Lewis tripped him up, but then Capo got hit really hard. There was no way that was Capo's fault.
No, and that was really a clean shoulder-to-shoulder. Even though Capo did get hit hard, it was really a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. So it must have been a prior. Now we've got a substitution. That must be an injury. I don't think you can sub on a free kick.
You can't sub on a set kick, but the injury, they forced number 21 out. Number 23 comes in for that.
Yeah, that might have been a convenience call as J.J. Dennis, the 23, works his way into the field.
Fort Lewis with a two-man wall right at the corner of their 18. Everybody else on the 18. The ball comes in. A little flick up. Pat Kaiser comes up for it.
Wow.
Adam State gets a little head down the flick, but it ends up going outside wide. Bit of a shaky
tried to challenge on the second ball, and he just didn't find. Long ball. Keep possession to work.
Yeah. Cook. Right side.
I think it was actually Grant. Pretty much physical build, blonde hair, but nonetheless it went off the post.
Adam State. Keeper gets two hands. Out.
finding himself with the ball on the top of the 18, kind of on the angle, but really good awareness just to pull the trigger, and a good shot on frame. Had to make the keeper make a tough
Long
save.
ball to Capo. He tries to get a foot on it and doesn't make it so. Adam State clears the ball out. Throw. To the middle, gets cleared out by Adam State. Adam State loses the ball to Pruce. Pruce drops, drops back to Brandt. Brandt swings over to Cloer. Cloer's got some time now. Short pass up to Pruce in the middle, who flicks it on up. High ball, letting the wind do some of the work to Gibbons. That ball just carries on out with that wind.
Yeah, it looked like Pruce saw something that some of the other players didn't, or just too aggressive of a ball, but that ends up long and off the byline.
I think it had the right weight on it, but the wind kind of changed the effect. Goal kick, long up the middle for Adam State. 50-50 gets flicked back forward. Capo comes in kind of heavy. No call yet. Now he makes the call on it. Shows a handball on that.
Yeah, I thought there were about 3 calls that could have been called instead of a handball, but that was an interesting one.
I thought the high pike dive into the middle by Capo would have been the call, but
yeah,
it was a handball.
Or even after that, he was on the ground and tried to play the ball and thought dangerous play maybe, but anyways, handball it is.
Fort Lewis wins the ball back. Zach Lawrence puts it back into the middle to Dooley. Dooley's on the race in the middle here. He flips up to the corner to Zach again in the corner. Zach's got one man on him. He tries to get around the corner on it. Ends up getting it flicked away. We've got a goal kick off of that because Lawrence did touch.
That was a good shot. To hit, and he really likes to round that corner and get crosses off.
Darn right. And if you're not, even if you don't get the call, if you get around the corner, that's great.
Right.
Dooley challenges in the middle. Adam State still hangs on to the ball. Missed pass forces Adam State to gather it up back in their corner. Now they're working the ball up with pressure from Fort Lewis. Capo on that. That's Dooley, I'm sorry. Dooley over to Proust in the middle. Adam State wins the ball back. A little bit of a trip up. Proust just gets his legs tied into him.
Yeah, it kind of came around the high side of him, and he did end up kicking him a little bit.
I love the French gestures by Proust.
Yeah, the hands together.
It's almost like there's food involved. Fort Lewis with the ball inside the 18. That would be Luke Lawrence. Luke loses the ball to Adam State, and he chases him back down. Little help from Dirksen.
Fort Lewis comes in strong defensively.
We got a long ball in the corner that's cleared up by Cloer. Capo has the ball back. He tries a little flick to Gibbons, but puts it on Adam State foot. Adam State with the counterattack now going up the right-hand side. He long ball, switching the ball over to the left side. Adam State gets a chest on it, but the ball gets away from him. It ends up, he manages to keep it in bounds.
Oh,
he did not. Line judge called that one out.
Yeah, it looked like it was in bounds from up here, but we don't quite have the vantage point.
No, and I think even the players were playing it like it was in.
Good 40 minutes of soccer thus far. We've got about 5 minutes to play still, 0-0. I think the Fort Lewis team can be happy with their play. Maybe a little discouraged that we don't have one in the back of the net, but...
Packheiser with the long ball up the middle. Proust tries to win that. Cloer ends up getting a piece of it. Now he sends it over to Piperkov in the corner. Piperkov long balls it up the middle to Luke. Adam State interrupts that play. Little shuck and jive by Adam State. Ends up not doing a lot with that, but he ends up winning the ball anyway. Sends up to the line.
Just out of bounds prior to that.
All I can say is it must have been out and then back in, because it sure was in bounds when he kicked it.
Yeah, it looked like it was a clean play.
The wind playing havoc on both teams right now, I think, to a certain degree. Anytime that ball's in the air, it's been hard to gather up and do something positive with it.
Yeah, and again, just like we stated in the first half of this doubleheader at the women's game, it's tough to play a team and then 2 days later play the same team. It makes it more difficult.
Proust has the ball. He sends it over to Dirksen. Dirksen's on his left side in their offensive third now. Gibbons picks it up. A little bit of a fight there, 2v1. Gibbons comes up short. The ball does go out of bounds for a Fort Lewis throw-in. Dirksen's going to have the ball now. He's looking for a throw into the middle, right at the edge of the 18. He goes to Capo, who sends back to him. Capo and Dirksen playing between themselves there. Adam State strips the ball. working a counterattack. Proust chases it down, wins the ball back. Dooley coming up in the middle now. Dooley long balls it over to Piperkov in the corner. He's got one man challenging him. He cuts to the middle. Zach Lawrence helping him out. He puts it right inside the 18 for Zach. Zach's got the ball on the base. He sends it off of an Adams State player for a corner kick.
Yeah, good little try to turn there with Zach Lawrence to try to get that ball across the face of the goal.
Lawrence inside the 18, about maybe 5 steps outside the 6, trying to turn that ball in. Dirksen coming in for the corner. Zach Lawrence staying short for him. 2 men on the piece now for the corner kick, forcing Dirksen to go over him. He does so. Ball's in the back post. We got some Fort Lewis players with the ball on their feet. A little bit of a scrum in there. Nobody's clear with the ball until Adams State finally squirts it out. Proust wins the ball back. Proust drops back to Clower. Clower with a heavy touch ends up having to fight with Adams State for it. He drops back to Brandt. Brandt sends right over to Lawrence, who's chasing it down, ends up running out of space to get the ball.
Yeah, just unlucky that one runs long. That was a good little flurry in front of the net. I think at one point there were 3 Fort Lewis players down on the ground with a number of Adams State players as well.
Feet everywhere on that one. Piperkov stabbing in to try to win a throw-in. He actually does win it. Kind of a light touch gives it back to Adams State. We've got about 2 minutes left in this first half. Score is 0-0. Skyhawks are playing Adams State out of Alamosa. Shot clock now shows 6 shots for Fort Lewis and 3 shots for Adams State. Foul against Piperkov at the moment. We've got a set piece for Adams State, just about 10-15 steps outside the 18 on the left-hand side. Ref stepping the wall back. We got 2 men in the wall at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like this could be a serve. Everyone's
they give up on the wall now, and they're just calling man-to-man. Long ball to the far post. We got Adams State players with it. Packheiser ends up putting his hands on it, catching it cleanly.
Yeah, a good bit of piece of awareness from him, but there was an offsides call on the play.
Packheiser drops the ball. Short passes it up to Dirksen. Dirksen on the left-hand side, he goes to Brandt. Brandt outside to Gibbons. Gibbons carrying it up the left-hand side. He's got some space to work with. Carries it more into the middle now. Tries to flick over to Capo. Dooley helps him out, trying to send it over to Zach Lawrence. Adams State wins the ball back. Now we've got a 50-50. Who's going to win this one? Adams State comes up with it, sends it up the middle for Piperkov to win the ball. Oh! Miscommunication there by Packheiser and Piperkov. Packheiser trying to clear it out.
Yeah, you know, Packheiser called Piperkov off of it, so Piperkov was kind of in the right because he was called off by his keeper. It was such a close play that it actually kicked it off the Adams State player over the byline. The
deflection almost made a scary shot onto Fort Lewis's net. Packheiser was outside his box, so he sure couldn't put his hands on it for no reason. Yeah. All right, we've reached halftime here. The score is 0-0. Skyhawks versus Adams State up here at Dirks Field, Fort Lewis College in Durango. Shots show 6 for Skyhawks and 4 for Adams State. Brian, how are you seeing this thing play out so far in this first half?
A good game by Fort Lewis. Defensively, pretty tight. There's a few times they got through, but really they were just really running towards the corners. As far as the midfield goes, good battling, good possession, good change of attack, meaning the ball's on the left, it comes through to the midfield, then comes over to the right, and vice versa. Still missing that offensive third just a little bit. We're getting forward, we're getting some chances, just not as much as we'd like to. On the other hand, Adams State, they're trying to play and they're linking some passes. I just don't think they're doing enough.
There are lots of advantages to living in residence halls. The biggest thing is convenience. Because you're right there on campus, you can wake up 5 minutes before you go to class.
There's a wide variety of student housing here at Fort Lewis College. We have 8 residential communities, 6 residence halls, and 2 apartment complexes. I chose the more traditional style so I can build a great community base and have lots of different people to talk to. I could have chosen a different living arrangement and gone with the suite style. That appeals more to the students who want more privacy. But since I came here by myself, I wanted the whole college experience, getting to know my neighbors and really being a part of their lives.
We have a unique opportunity. We live here on campus with the students in one of the residence halls. The position that I feel is called a faculty in residence position, and is basically a chance for students to interact with professors outside of the classroom.
There are a lot of places to eat on campus. The most obvious is the student union. You buy a meal plan and then you can go in, and for dinners you can eat basically whatever you want. Then you have Animus Perks, which is a great little coffee shop, snack area. We have the Rocket Grill up here, which is really great. You can get good burgers, wings. The wings are excellent, by the way. This is the Sky Card. You'll use this for meals. You can upload cash onto this, get stuff from the bookstore, get stuff a la carte from any of the coffee shops around here. And this is basically your link to all the good stuff on campus.
Fort Lewis has so many organizations on campus for students to get involved with. They offer a wide variety of RSOs on campus for any type of student, any type of club, anything you're passionate about, you can find something.
At Fort Lewis, I've been involved in different RSOs, Registered Student Organizations, Student Senate, United Students Through Wellness. My biggest reason for joining student groups is just to meet people. I came here not knowing really anyone. I jumped into a group and just met tons of people right away.
The Environmental Center is a registered student organization that really is in charge of trying to bring sustainability to the campus. I help to oversee all the media and communications part of the Environmental Center, and we have a radio show on KDOR, and we also have a column on The Independent, which is FLC's magazine.
Leadership Center is kind of the hub for different RSOs to go to when they need supplies, organization, forms, guidance, etc.
So I think it's huge that you get involved, because if you don't get involved, you're never going to get to experience anything.
I chose Fort Lewis for a variety of reasons. Because I knew that I was going to major in business, I liked that they had an international option. Students have a lot of flexibility to combine programs through majors and minors, double majors, and double degrees. I have a major in international business as well as Latin American Spanish. I chose these majors because I thought it would open doors in a way that I could enjoy traveling as well as maintaining a successful career. The programs are led by PhDs who are recognized in their fields and top-ranked, measured by accreditations, faculty publications, and honors, alumni outcomes, and employer testimonials. I am more sure about my future than I ever have been, and I think I couldn't have done it without Fort Lewis and the guidance from the professors and the classroom style that we have here.
FLC has some great nationally ranked teams. We have women's and men's soccer, women's and men's basketball, just to name a few. What I like best about being a student athlete is that you get the benefits of getting to play something you've always liked to do, as well as get a great education for it.
It's more than just the sport, you know, it's a social aspect of being on a team and having that bond, you know, to carry you through not just the season but the rest of the school year as well.
The athletic facilities that we have here are very nice. We have our beautiful gym that we have had many victories in, and we have a fantastic soccer field where we have two great soccer teams that fight away and do their work.
It's a lot of hard work, and it's extremely rewarding once you put in your 4 years and looking back and have that sense of accomplishment, knowing that you tried your hardest and you got a lot out of it.
On game day, we get some great fans coming from the community as well as our students. They come in and they're loud, and the more fans we have, the better we play. And so game days are really exciting for us. Go Skyhawks!
Whether you make your plans over a barbed wire fence or over wireless internet, if you're coming from the stockyard or the stock exchange, Durango is right at home at the Diamond Bell, timeless and timely.
It's full steam ahead at the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Enjoy a historic trip through southwest Colorado's rich scenery with daily train excursions through the spectacular San Juan Mountains. See the world-famous 400-foot drop at the High Line. Relax as you chug along the Upper Animas River and spend an afternoon in the historic mining town of Silverton. Stop by the depot or call 247-2733. Get more information on our website at durangotrain.com.
You're watching Inside Durango TV, the greatest television show in the history of time.
One of the things that we promise every guest at Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
When our guests come on the lot, they get to see our best price hanging clearly in the window of every vehicle on our lot. They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Buying a vehicle should be a great experience, and that's what we provide. And taking care of our guests means one low price, plain and simple, always.
Meet Dan. He owned a dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more, so Fast Signs created a plan to raise Dan's business visibility. Now Dan has more sales, more stores, more of the good life, and more is what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs.
The local pub is a tradition dear to the heart of any town. Durango's local pub is the Irish Embassy, a favorite with locals for breakfast, dinner, or just a pint with friends. With a traditional Irish menu and all your favorite brews on tap. The Irish Embassy, Durango.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the Four Corners region.
Visit the scenic James Ranch in the Animas River Valley and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Harvest Grill and Greens. The menu is based on a seasonal supply of organically grown James Ranch products. The Harvest Grill and Greens at James Ranch, 10 miles north of Durango.
Inside Durango TV uses 100% green power.
Go underground with the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour, a fun and exciting look at gold mining in Silverton. This is an authentic gold mine, and the tour includes a train ride and mining demonstrations. The Old 100 Mine Tour runs 7 days a week with hourly tours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pan for gold and silver as long as you like, and keep what you find. Take a scenic drive north to historic Silverton and the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour.
Come in! Welcome to the Durango Area Parade of Homes, opening Friday, September 27th. Friday night kicks things off with romantic Homes Under the Stars parties. Then tour parade homes all weekend to discover amazing architecture and fresh ideas for your home. One $15 ticket grants you access to all events for 3 days. Participants could win a full set of kitchen appliances, a granite countertop, or other great prizes. So come join us for the 10th Annual Parade of Homes. The Sporting News Grill at the new Holiday Inn and Suites of Durango is now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Featuring a full-service restaurant and bar with 11 HD TVs, it's a great venue for family and sports fanatics alike. The Sporting News Grill. Stop in and let us show you our game face.
It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new EcoLux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river. Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
Inside Durango TV is a founding member of Local First. Introducing the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide, the free magazine with information about where to eat, what to do, and what to see. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa Springs to Silverton, and everything in between. So pick up your copy of the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide. This free publication of the Durango Herald is available all over town.
Visit the scenic town of Silverton and take a Jeep tour through the heart of the majestic San Juan Mountains with San Juan Backcountry Tours. Visitors can get behind the wheel and explore the mountain roads on their own, or sit back on guided tours that take you through the rich history of the area, including the ghost town Animas Forks. You can rent a Jeep, ATV, dirt bike, or we can take you on a guided tour in one of our open-top Suburbans. Enjoy the spectacular scenery from 9,000 feet all the way to 13,000 feet in elevation. The San Juans have many scenic routes and four-wheel drive passes to explore, and our experienced staff can
No, I'm not on camera, buddy. No. I was just wondering if somebody up here was on camera.
Okay, hold on to this. We don't know. Sometimes IDTV has a whole setup up here, and they'll focus one camera on us while we're doing it, and then they'll cut to us, and then the different angles.
Announcers are on air. Guys are on. It's us. Terry and Brian, really good stuff.
Thank you.
Really sounds good.
Thank you. Good, good. I worry sometimes there's times where we're talking and all of a sudden there's a change of play and it's in the box and we have to lag like 10.
College, where the men's team is playing Adams State. The score is 0-0 at this time. We've got about a minute and a half left in the halftime at this movie. Both teams are starting to migrate to their respective ends of the field. This time around, we've got Adams State playing the south end with the wind at their back, and Fort Lewis will be playing on the north end into the wind. My partner here, Brian Frederick, what do you think about the strategies that might come out of the second half? How do we exploit the two different teams?
I think Adams State really was looking to spring one player, potentially 1-2 player maybe. So I think defensively we have to stay organized. Mike Brandt does a great job back there in the center back, as do the other players, but he's really good at reading that play and what's going to happen next before it even happens, and he finds himself in a position, in a good position a lot of the time. Through the midfield, I think you just want to ask more of the same, a little bit more side to side and changing the point of attack. From the forwards, I think you want to ask them to get the midfield involved with the ball a little bit more and drag the whole team up the field. So as a team, we get a little bit closer to the goal. Then we have composure in that final third, and our opportunities will come.
Yeah, I noticed that just while we're chatting here, the wind is becoming more and more of a factor currently. We got good steady winds going from south to north. I'd say at least 10 to 15 mile an hour steady winds at the moment. Any long balls cleared by Fort Lewis are really not going to get much on them. The goalie will probably even have to look at more shorter plays. He's just not really going to be able to hit half field if he's lucky. Unfortunate for them, but on a good side, I think Fort Lewis is so disciplined and good about bringing the ball up on the ground that they're able to work with it in the best way.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a goal in this half for sure. I don't know that I see this game going into overtime. Hopefully it's the Fort Lewis team that scores, but I think there's been enough opportunities and enough goal box to goal box movement of the ball and the players that I think we'll see some sort of goal.
So now Fort Lewis is actually stepping onto the field. It'll actually be Adams State's kickoff in this first half, or second half, I'm sorry. It feels like the lineup has not changed On the outsides are Piper Cobb and Austin Dirksen on the left side. Elliot Cruz helping in the middle there with, looks like Dooley. Is Dooley still in the net? Yeah, Capo's in there.
Dooley, Capo, and Cruz.
And then we've got Gibbons on the left-hand side and Zach Lawrence on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Tamino Kroger, that big body.
The right-hand side.
Yeah, we've got Zach Lawrence out here left and Tamino Kroger up top. Big ball by Adam State goes all the way deep into the keeper. That's
Kaiser with the throw
not a great
to the right-hand
kickoff.
side to Clower. Clower carrying it up the right-hand side. Piper Cobb adjusting to it, trying to get ball. He wins it, flicks on up the line there. Piper Cobb with another try to flick through. Adam State intercepts and brings the ball back. Proust in there. Piper Cobb to middle to Dooley. Dooley trying to swing it over, runs into the referee in the process. Mike Brandt has the ball now. Zach Lawrence playing the left side at this time. He's got ball on line. A little bit of a fight with Adam State. It goes off of Lawrence for a Adam State throw in. Quick throw by Adam State. They flick up into the corner. Lets it roll on out for, must have gone off Fort Lewis player. They give the ball back to them.
Yeah, and it is getting a bit windy up here, so we apologize if the wind is affecting the sound. We need some feedback from anybody in that regard.
Capo with a long ball into the corner there. We got Gibbons running up on it. Adam State has the ball though, and they send it out of bounds right into the bleachers, right at the bench of Fort Lewis. Piper Cobb with the throw in. Goes into the middle to Gibbons. Kroger. Kroger wins the ball, sends it over to the middle. Dooley gets kind of shoved out of the play there. He comes back into it, flicks it over to Piper Cobb. Piper Cobb's got time. Looks like we have a referee whistle here. That would be against Fort Lewis for a Adam State kick about midfield.
Yeah, the wind continues to pick up. Hopefully that doesn't affect the play as Fort Lewis is defending the north goal with the wind in their face.
Adam State with a kick. Sends it on up into the middle. It goes really far in, lands at the top of the 18. It bounces once. Packeyes are able to grab it right at the goal line. He jogs it up to the 18. Rolls on out to Piper Cobb on the right-hand side.
Good awareness by a goalkeeper to make those adjustments as the wind.
Yeah, he was actually on his 6 and actually stepped on back to catch that cleanly. We got a foul against Adam State. Just across half line for Houston's up with a quick set. He tries so and it doesn't get it. So now he'll slow it down.
Yeah, the bench.
Step away from the ball and let Clower take it.
The bench was in an uproar there, not liking the sequence of fouls there, but the referee got on the second one anyways.
Dirksen now with the kick, left-footed, swinging it towards into the net. He puts one in, it floats up in the air, gets just into the 18. That's Mike Brent gets ahead on it, going near post, but the keeper picks it up cleanly.
Oh, good little pick by Zach Lawrence off the defender and then pulls a shot from outside the 18, just wide of the near post.
Be a goal kick for Adam State. He sends the ball up the middle, right side. Looks like Dirksen's going to pick it up. He actually jumps over his head and rolls on out the end.
Thanks.
Be a goal kick for Fort Lewis College now. Packheiser has the ball. Steady, strong pitch into his face. He quick plays it out to Brandt. Brandt goes back to Packheiser. Packheiser chasing it down on the right-hand side. He swings over to Clower, but a little bit of a shank pass. Fort Lewis struggling a little bit in this second half to settle in their defense.
Yeah, just rushed a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit hard to clear the ball out. Any head ball really goes nowhere at this time. Capo with a quick play to Cruz, back to Capo. Capo's presenting up to Zach Lawrence on the left-hand side. Zach checks himself back. He goes back to middle, sees Dooley, goes back to Cruz. Cruz gets challenged immediately. He's able to hang on to the ball. Nicely done by Cruz there. Cruz sends out to the left side to Dirksen. Dirksen goes into the middle onto Dooley.
Oh, what a ball by Dirksen, trying to thread the needle.
Kroger challenging the ball. Tamino Kroger playing up on top today. Adam State wins the ball back in the middle. They switch over to their right-hand side. Dooley, little flick in there, gives it to Zach. Zach's carrying a ball now. He looks over to the right side to Gibbons. There it is. Gibbons. He spun so fast I couldn't see who he was.
Yeah, and that ball's just behind him as he wanted that a little bit more in front. He could have run onto it.
A little bit of a dive in there by Gibbons. The play continues. Gibbons flicks out to Clower. Piper Cobb, that is. Piper Cobb on the right-hand side, helping out. A little bit of a scrum there in the middle. Just give and go back and forth by Adams State and Fort Lewis. Adams State wins it now, carrying up the left-hand side. Getting up to the top of the 18, we got number 2 of Adams State all by himself. Nice little save by Pat Kaiser. He's called offsides, and I don't know if that was 2 or the shooter that got called offsides.
I think it was the shooter that called offside. Dirksen steps just in time for that call, but nonetheless, Pat Kaiser with a nice save.
Yeah, it's a nice save. He came outside his 6 to get into the right angle for that. Quick play by Fort Lewis. They send it up the right-hand side. Kroger challenging the ball. He's got 2 men on him. 3. Ends up losing it now. I'll give him those odds. Gibbons chasing the ball down now. It goes up the right-hand side. Pat Kaiser coming outside his box to gather that ball up. Is he going to let it roll out? He chooses not to. He's got it on his feet. Sends up to the right-hand side to Piper Cobb. Piper Cobb goes to middle now. Flick up the middle, Zach Lawrence, that should be his ball. He's got a man on him though. He ends up losing it. Long ball into the box there. Pat Kaiser ends up catching the ball inside the 18, rolls it back out to Dirksen. Dirksen's on the left-hand side, up to Zach. Zach Lawrence, back to Dirksen. Man challenging Dirksen now. He's kind of caught in the corner there. He's got nowhere really to go.
Oh, what a move.
Hang on to it, bends it around that player and carries it on up. Nicely done by Dirksen on that one.
Yeah, good awareness of where he is, his body, and his control.
Kroger fighting his man for the ball.
Yeah.
He earns that one. I mean, basically Adams State's guy was riding him like a horse there. Capo's got the ball on his feet, right at the edge of the offensive third. Players are lining up at the top of the 18.
Good physical battle by Kroger up top.
Capo with a long ball in. He swings it in right onto net. Gets through the wall, but the keeper's able to snag it up.
Yeah, we had a Fort Lewis player challenging for the header, but he missed it. The 3 or 4 Adams State defenders that were there kind of bounced through them, and the keeper was able to get a hold of it.
Oh, you get Gatorade and I get water? How nice is that? Adams State with an errant ball going into the middle. He tries to put back into the middle there and ends up kicking it out the end line. Fort Lewis will have themselves a goal kick.
Yeah, you wonder if it's Adams State trying to be really direct, or if it's partially this wind that's affecting these long balls and looking to get things going forward.
Wind is steady and strong, definitely having an effect on play by both teams. Right now, Fort Lewis plays into that wind. Everything that goes up in the air is not getting a lot of traction. Fort Lewis has the ball. Kroger picks up the ball in the right corner. He drops back to Piper Cobb. Piper Cobb will cut in the middle there. He sends over to Proust, who picks it up. Got a man on his back. Feeds up to Gibbons. Gibbons is in the corner. He comes back into the middle. He's just outside the 18. Tries to feed one through, but Adams State clears it out. Mike Brandt with a ball on that. Puts it up to Proust. Proust heals it. We got ourselves a little bit of a race here. Piper Cobb and an Adams State player. Piper Cobb gets tripped up, or excuse me, Dirksen gets tripped up by that play.
Yeah, that was just an inadvertent play where both players are trying to get to the ball, and he just kind of clips his feet.
All by Adams State. He just stepped on his foot, and that's the way it is. Mike Brandt with a quick play over to Clower. Clower's on the right-hand side, works up to Piper Cobb at half line. Piper Cobb carrying the ball up the right-hand side, tries to get into Kroger. Kroger still trying to win the ball. He does so, flicks it up to Gibbons. Gibbons fighting for that ball. Nicely done by Gibbons there to fight for that. Dooley on the ball now. Dooley's fighting. A lot of fighting on the ball here. I tell you what, Adams State is not giving him much to work with. Zach Lawrence gets on top of the 18. Does he get a shot? If he does so, it bends away from the net, unfortunately.
Yeah, good.
Right into that wind.
Yeah, good movements by him, and he did well to get the shot off. The shot he would have liked to have had a little bit cleaner and a little bit lower. Dooley showing a good little fight to him to win the ball prior to giving it over to Zach.
I do have to say, Adams State is continually keeping pressure on Fort Lewis. They're having to work for every inch that they've gotten today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good battle. We still have 35 minutes to play in the second half, 0-0.
Goal kick by Adams State up into the middle. Actually, Fort Lewis wins it back. Zach Lawrence has got it in the corner now on the left side, just outside the 18, looking for opportunities. Little shuck and jive there. He crosses a nice one into the far post there. Gibbons almost got a piece of it, but Adams State clears it out. Prusk wins the ball back. Back to Dirksen. Clower ends up missing a back pass. He drops it back to his key, turns it up in the middle. Piperkov on the right-hand side now wins ball. He long balls it into Kroger, who's on sides. He's got it. Keeper against Kroger. Kroger pulls a shot, puts it right on the feet of the keeper, who takes it out of bounds for a corner kick.
Yeah, you looked at Kroger's body language, and right prior to the shot, he picks his head up, sees if any forwards are making that run. Zach Lawrence was making that run, but he was just a hair late in getting to that space. I think we would have seen Kroger put that ball across the 6 for an easy tap in, like the girls scored their first goal earlier if Zach had been in that space just a hair earlier.
Nicely timed run. We got a corner kick coming in about mid-6. Ends up squirting out the other side. Zach Lawrence runs it down. One man on him. Now 2. A little bit of shuck and jive, and he ends up out of bounds with it.
Yeah, he just
overthought himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he just tried to fumble over that ball a little bit. I think a quick movement and his burst of speed, he could have gotten past him. He didn't really need to do the step over type of stuff because he was already facing him. But nonetheless, throwing for Adams State deep in their own territory.
For Adams State, we have substitutions for Adams State. 2 of their players, 7 and 17, leaving. 29 and 30 coming in. Waiting for them to get into position. We'll start the throw in.
Both freshmen are Ethan Jackson and Andrew Martinez that joined the game.
Dirksen wins the ball, flicks it up to Lawrence. Lawrence heads it over, but Adams State picks it up. Adams State with a short ball up the middle now. They've got a runner on the left-hand side, and they go to him. He's got a lot of space to work with if he can get that ball, and that ball just keeps on rolling. He does get a hold of it and loses it on the end line. Did he go out of bounds?
Yeah, went out of bounds prior to him getting that last little touch in there. That's a decent ball by the 29 who just joined the game, Ethan Jackson, but it was always sending the runner away from the goal and into the corner, so a tough one to deal with.
Yeah, I think if that ball had died, he would have been able to get a better angle on it, head towards net. Kroger with the opportunity had 2 Adams State players on him though, and really couldn't make much of it. The ball is in the offensive third of Fort Lewis this time. Gibbons challenged. Ball goes out of bounds off Fort Lewis for an Adams State throw-in.
Solid defending pressure by the boys out there. Kroger and Gibbons, that was on the right-hand side, really pressing the ball.
Some more substitutions by Adams State.
Yeah, we've got 4 joining the game. Jake Hughes, and I didn't see the other number.
Adams State has the ball now in the left side. Clower clears it out of bounds for another Adams State throw-in. Adams State about half field, a little short throw-in. He ends up swinging to the middle with the ball. A long ball actually goes across over to the other side. Adams State's player 28 gets a hold of it. Got an overlapping runner going into the corner. He sends to him. Dirksen's got him challenged. Keeps him, ends up nicely taking the ball. Never touched it, let it roll out. Fort Lewis gets the throw in. He goes into Brandt in the middle. Brandt short, back out to Dirksen. Dirksen's got space to work with. He carries the ball on up. Ends up switching it over to Clower. Clower's got a man challenged on him, back to Brandt. Defense is playing the ball right now, just trying to work up some slots. Tries to go to Zach Lawrence. Lawrence gets one touch, bounces it off an Adams State player for a throw-in. He sends up to Kroger. Kroger playing the ball backwards now, looking for a crossover to Piperkov. Piperkov's got lots of space to work with.
Good switch by
Up
Kroger.
into the middle to Dooley. Adams State cuts the angle and clears the ball out. Clower heads the ball up to Pruist, who flicks it on up to Dooley. Dooley's going to get ahead on it, fighting for some possession there. A little pushing and shoving. He wins the ball. Carrying the ball up, he goes over to Capo. Capo drops back out to Piperkov. Piperkov into the corner on Gibbons, who's got his opportunity for a cross. Nice little cross, and there we got a head. Oh, just missed by Kroger.
Those are what goals are written all about. That was a great ball in by Trevor Gibbons, and Kroger just in front of the goalkeeper, which is always a good thing. Gets a head on it, so the goalie had nothing to see about it, but just missed wide.
An excellent play. I'd love to see a couple more of those. I bet you we see the damn break one.
Yeah. Another thing, a moment ago, Kroger was looking at Dirksen and Brandt when they had the ball, and typically they want that ball going in there. He was telling him to settle down, hold it, get composure and pressure. That's not something you typically see a forward saying. They always say, give me the ball at my feet. But it was good recognition for him to say, let's get some pace, let's get some momentum, let's get some time on the ball, then we'll attack a little bit.
Fort Lewis with the throw in on the left hand side. The ball gets pushed back to Clower. Clower crosses the ball over to the right side. It gets up in the air and just kind of dives midfield. Gibbons gets a piece of it, carries it back to the middle where Dooley gets back on camera. Gibbons wins the ball back again. Puts up to Capo. Capo back to Gibbons. Adam State strips the ball, wins it. They send up to the middle. Clower's got the ball. He backs it up to Packheiser. Packheiser does a short play over to Dirksen. Dirksen's on the left-hand side looking up the line. He long balls it in. Zach Lawrence checking back to get that ball. Nice little touch. He wins the ball and goes towards the middle of the field. Dishes over to Capo. Capo over to Piper Pop on the right-hand side. Bringing into their offensive third. Gibbons flicks into the middle. Zach Lawrence has got his back to the goal. He spins into the middle. He's right outside the 18 on the corner. 2 men in his face. Gibbons is hobbling now, can't really move. We long ball it over across. It's going to roll on out.
That was a good sequence of play there, Terry. We saw the ball going all over the field, left to right, up and back. A good bit of possession for the boys right there on that play.
Gibbons seems like he's taking off a bit of injury that Zach Lawrence jogging back to the left side, coming in from the right.
Yeah, I think that substitution was due to Gibbons getting a little bit of a knock.
Gibbons steps off of the field. Did we see who came in for Gibbons?
Casey Dean. He'll be playing out there wide right.
Yeah. Casey Dean coming in for Gibbons now. Dooley's got the ball. He loses it to Adam State in the corner on the left side. A little bit of a scrum there in the corner. Dooley wins it back. Coming up on a man. He does a little short pick into the corner. Capo's got the ball now inside the 18. He's got 3 men on him. He gets up, getting past, get a little bit of a trip, but it doesn't get called. It rolls out of bounds for Fort Lewis. They throw back in by Dirksen. Capo spins, gets tripped again. This time he'll get the call.
Yeah, the first tackle on Capo in the box, but the player got plenty of ball, then Capo. Second off the throw and quick throw into Capo again. Player saw no ball, got all Capo.
So we're about 3 yards off the left side of the goal box. The penalty box, about 3 steps off of the goal line. Ask for the man to step back. There he goes. Referee setting that. Everybody at the back post. Made some runs in. The kick didn't happen. Here it comes this time. Off of the wall and gets kicked on out for a corner kick.
Adam State coach yelling at the referees, telling him not to fall for the not to fall for the dive that he saw from the 60 yard cross.
We happen to have that vantage point right in front of us, and he did indeed get hooked right at the foot. Fort Lewis with a throw in now in their left side corner in their offensive third. Zach Lawrence with the throw. Throws into the 18 onto Kroger. Kroger shielding the ball, trying to look for a way to turn it in. Gets cleared out by Adam State. Throw in by Dirksen, quick to Zach. Zach lets one go through his legs. He spins on it. He's inside the 18. He crosses into the middle off of an Adam State player.
Everybody up in arms asking for a handball. I don't know that I saw that, Terry.
I don't know that I saw it either, but everybody was screaming handball. So we're going to get a corner kick out of it instead.
I think the temperature is rising, and I'm not talking about the climate here. I'm talking about everybody's emotion. Both coaches off their bench having a chat at everybody out
Kappa
there.
with a kick into the far post. Adam State gets ahead on it. Flint sends it outside the 18. Clower chasing it down to midfield right side. One Adam State player on it, goes to Cruz short. Ball gets stolen by Adam State. Adam State throwing the ball up on their 18. It's challenged from the back by Dean. Dean on to Dooley. Dooley's going up into the middle now. The follow-up line out with his corner. Capo's on the left-hand side. It goes to him. Capo wins the ball. Finally, a couple of players to go. Dooley pulls the trigger, skips one off. It lands right in front of the keeper. Little right-sided dive by the keeper.
Yeah, he didn't have too much trouble with that. Dooley didn't have a whole lot of time as that ball came across him. He had to put it off on a quick rushed shot.
Big hit by the goalie. Dirksen tries to clear it on the line. He goes up line to Zach Lawrence, who's basically getting molested in the process. Gets the ball back over to play Scott Grosvenor this time. The Adams State ball. Adams State just getting into midfield with a set ball here.
25 to play, still deadlocked at 0.
Yeah, 9 shots for Fort Lewis. Long ball up the middle. Bruce gets a leg on it. Ends up shanking it out of bounds. Sells another line change by Adams State.
I'm not even going to attempt it, Terry. There's 5 new Adams State players coming in. I did count that before they joined the team.
Fort Lewis has only had the 1 substitution at this time. Trevor Gibbons coming out for a light injury. Casey Dean came in for him.
Terry, I wonder if that has something to do with the coaches and how they're feeling about the game.
There it is.
While Fort Lewis has only made 1 sub on the injury, Adams State is turning around making multiple subs trying to affect the game.
I think the motivation by a coach doing that is to try to get fresh players in there and create more pressure. Obviously, it's looking like Adams State's best success is when they're able to keep pressure on Fort Lewis.
Yeah.
And if they don't have the lungs for it, then they just rotate the lungs. You know?
Yeah,
Fort Lewis has the ball in their defensive third in the corner. Clower is shielding the ball. He ends up turning it around, going up the left or right-hand side. He long balls up the right side to midfield. Dooley gets a head on it now. Dean now has it at his feet. He shanks it off of a Adams State player. Wakes Ogie and staff up with a little deflection to their bench.
Yeah, not many options there. He kind of had to go up the line, but you'd certainly like to see Fort Lewis get the ball on the field.
Where is he? There he is.
Trying to link some more passes.
Piper Cobb with a short throw in to Capo. A little bit of a fight there. Proust wins the ball, and he's carrying it up the middle. He goes over into the corner for Dean. Dean looking for some opportunity. He drops it back to Piper Cobb. Piper Cobb long balls it into the 6. A little bit of a header by Dooley. Didn't get much on it. Zach Lawrence has the ball now right at the 18. Ends up getting stripped away and cleared by Adams State. It'll roll out about half field left side.
Yeah, Zach just wasn't quite patient enough. He had Dirksen starting to come around him for the overlap.
Dirksen has the ball now up the left side. He's heading towards the corner, right outside the 18. Got one man on him, slides. Nice little tackle by Adams State player there, clearing the ball out. Adams State has the ball at their feet. They send to mid. A little slip by Adams State. Gives Proust a chance with it. Now it's Dooley sliding in. Now Clower has the ball. He sends up the right corner to Dean. Dean has got the ball on his head. He clicks into the 18. Looks like it's going to roll out for a goal.
What's that?
Good little fight. Dooley gets in on the tackle. Adams State coach doesn't think it's quite a good tackle, but cleats were down, so it was clean.
Yeah, and it was pretty much a textbook tackle, just like the one from the Adams State player, not 2 minutes earlier.
Right,
but
right.
He's not as concerned about that one. Adams State with the ball got a handball call on number 7 from Adams State. Fort Lewis will have the ball right at the edge of their mid-third. Mike Grant with that ball at his feet. He shorts it over to Clower on the right side. Clower carrying the ball up to midfield, up to Piper Cobb on the right-hand side, right on the line. Piper Cobb cuts to the middle. He has 2 players on him. Kroger tries to help out with that. Ends up getting stripped from him. Clower's got the ball at his feet now. Back to Packheiser, the keeper. A little bit of a missed clear there. Keeper's really having a hard time clearing that ball up the line with this wind. Just really play havoc. Clower back to the keeper again. Packheiser swings over to Brandt. Brandt carries the ball up, sends up to Dirksen on the left side. Dirksen up to Zach Lawrence. Zach Lawrence gets tangled up by a couple players. It's Adams State ball. They continue play. Proust in there to help out. Now Proust wins the ball. Nice little move piece there. Absolutely a call against Adams State on that. Proust really getting kind of pushed around.
But he never lost the ball. Such a solid player, putting his body between the defender and the ball always.
Proust is like 5'0", and whenever he gets that ball, it's like he's kind of got it in this little cocoon, and these other players are just looming over trying to steal it.
Yeah.
Can't really do much with it.
No.
He hangs onto the ball well. The ball is actually now at the Adams State Fort Lewis trying to regain possession. Dirksen gets a hold of it. He pulls the trigger, bounces it off Adams State player. Dooley has it now in the middle. Dooley with a cut to the middle, another cut. He left puts it in, kind of a slow draggler to the keeper.
Yeah, it was kind of telegraphed. He had to cut the ball twice before he pulled the shot off, but a good attempt anyways. I think Fort Lewis is going to be more effective if they continue to pass in the offensive third and continue to get crosses in, opposed to trying to dribble and break things down.
Adams State keeper with a long ball up the middle. It lands just outside the 18. Brant gets a head on it. Not quite a quick clear out. Now the ball's coming out. Packheiser with a nice little step out save from across in the corner. He switches fields now, going over to Dean. Dean carrying the ball up the right-hand side. He's just at half field at this time. Goes to middle to Dooley. Dooley gets tripped up. We get ourselves a foul on that play right in the midfield.
Yeah, no argument from anybody there. That was clear as light.
First short to Piperkov. Piperkov got lots of time. No one challenging him. Back to Bruce. Bruce flicks up into the middle. Adams State sends it out clear again. Adams State with a heavy foot right now, just kicking the ball out.
Yeah, I'm not really liking the soccer right now, Terry. It's kind of Fort Lewis being too urgent and trying to get long balls and dribbling in, and then Adams State on the other hand just booting it out. So it's not a super clean game at the moment. Oh, good little flick.
Capo's inside the 18. He flicks over. Oh, nobody there. He tried to get up to Casey Dean, but Dean was just too close to the near post.
Yeah. Yeah, Kroger was coming underneath him too. Kroger with the initial flick, everybody was crashing towards the goal in at the 6, as was Dean. I think that if that ball had come from Capo, maybe a little clipper on top of the 18, Kroger kind of had some space there as he joined the play again.
Adams State with a goal kick up the middle, lands midfield, challenged by both players. Adams State wins the ball, drops back into their midfield, carrying the ball over to the left-hand side. Looking at getting some extra touches in. Ultimately challenged and stolen by Fort Lewis. Capo with a counterattack. He sends left to Zach Lawrence. Lawrence just at the corner of the 18. Long ball's into the middle there. Adams State gets a head on it and clears the ball on out. Capo challenging the ball, pursuing the player up to the left side.
Yeah, Capo's joined the game again. He was quiet for a couple minutes to start the half, but he's really starting to get forward, find the ball, and do some things offensively. It's good to see.
Adams State in their back defensive third, carrying the ball out. He long balls in. The ball is onside.
Cameras off for a second.
Nicely done by Mike Grant, clearing that ball out of bounds.
I thought for all intents and purposes he was beat.
Yeah.
Mike Grant doing a good job.
He had the angle. He's able to get back into the play.
Now we've got Jordan Alexander coming in for Zach Lawrence out here wide. Capo looks like he could use it.
Down for the Skyhawks, number 14, Jordan Alexander.
Alexander normally playing on the right side, and that's where he ends up.
Yeah, that's going to slide Casey Dean over here to the left-hand side near us. Kruger's jumping back into the box on our corner.
Corner kick for Adams State. They swing out. The ball floats to far post. There is a head on it. Fort Lewis able to clear the ball out. Goes about midfield. Adams State gaining control of it. Kind of gets behind him. Dean is pursuing. We got one-man Dean in the offensive half pursuing the ball at the moment.
Yeah, the defense in the midfield just a little bit slow getting up the field on that.
Adams State with a long ball into the middle. It lands just outside the 18. Gets flicked out by Clower. Brent gets a piece of it to save it from a corner kick. Now it's a throw-in. Adams State in their far right-hand corner with a throw.
And another substitution from them. I'm not counting, Terry, but I think that's the
whole line.
Yeah, we only see 2 players coming in.
I'm positive this is what's happening. They're just trying to keep fresh lungs out there and continue steady pressure on Fort Lewis. It really seems to be the best success they've had when they're able to keep a lot of pressure on Fort.
I also wonder if it's a bit of time management from their coach. Every substitution eats about 30 seconds a clock, and if you do that 5, 6, 8 times a game, that's minutes off.
Below 4 or 5 minutes over a time of a half, that's for sure. Adams State has the ball in their offensive corner here on the right side. Looks for a long ball cross, challenged by Dirksen. Little heel flick there into the middle. Ball's been kicked out by Fort Lewis now, and Fort Lewis has regained possession. Capo's got the ball in the middle. He goes to Dooley. Dooley crosses over to Dean on the left side. Adams State able to win the ball back. Dean with a little fight there. He's inside the 18. He's got an opportunity. Oh, he misses the kick. Dooley gets a hand on it, or foot on it. Keeper with a nice little save to his left side.
Wow, what a good opportunity. I think the ball just got away from Casey Dean as he was trying to pull the trigger. He didn't get his plant foot at the ball level. It was hair behind it, and it didn't get the mustard on the shot that he wanted.
Unfortunate for Dean. He had all sorts of net to work with. He just couldn't get a foot on it.
Yeah, but then the ball spurted out to Dooley on top of the 18, who had a quick shot, and made the goalie really have to work to get across.
Adams State with a counterattack. They actually send the ball out wide. Looks like we're going to have a goal kick for Fort Lewis College.
We've got 15 minutes still to play in the game, 0-0.
Brandt with the ball, working it up to his left side. He goes up the line to Dean. Adams State gets a head on it. Another try for it. Proust ends up winning the ball back. He switches over to Clower. Clower with one challenge to his face. He cuts back, goes to Brandt. Brandt now carrying the ball up the left side, over to Dirksen.
Yeah, this is the patience they need to have.
Dirksen squirts up to Kroger there. Kroger checks back, bringing the ball up. He sends a nice ball to the corner for Dean. Dean's racing to get to it. He's able to keep the ball in. Last little touch, it gets away from him.
Yeah, he kept it off the sideline, but then he was so close to the byline that it just rolled over for a goal kick.
Adams State with a goal kick at this time. Looking for that long ball like he's been doing all day now with the wind at his back. He does so this time over to the right-hand side. Adams State tries for a ball, lets it roll on out, so now it's a Fort Lewis throw. Dirksen up the line, up to Dean. Dean flicks it to the middle to Kroger. Dean wins it back, drops back to Capo. Capo's challenging. Adams State with a ball up the right side line. It does stay in bounds. Packheiser comes out of the box. He lets it roll on out for a goal kick. So we've got 13 and a half minutes left approximately. Score 0-0. The shot count is climbing for Fort Lewis. Some good looks, some good saves by the Adams State keeper to keep them in this game.
Still a little too direct at times.
Proust with the ball now. Proust has got it, one man on his back, able to hang on to possession. He bounces it off the player for a Fort Lewis throw. Dirksen with the throw. Dirksen back to Brandt. Brandt's got space to work with on there. He swings over to the right side to Clower. Aaron Clower carries up the right side now. Sends up the middle to Alexander, who flicks it out to the outside to Piperkov, but the little bit of a miss hit there, didn't quite clear it.
Yeah, still very direct. The ball comes from the outside backs or the center backs up to either a forward or an outside midfielder and then trying to drop it back. We're not getting any possession in the midfield with the midfield triangle. It's all trying in, out, and back.
A play back to Packheiser, swings it to Dirksen. Dirksen goes up the line. Oh, a bit of a hard challenge by Mike Brandt. It's going to be a call against him.
Yeah,
we've got ourselves a set play at the front end of the offensive third for Adams State.
Yeah, he just came through the back of that player.
Number 4 from Adams State with the ball. Bulk of Adams State is playing left side of the box, looking for an on-swing kick. Ball played up the middle, and Mike Brandt clears out with a head ball right at the 18. Number 4 from Adams State wins the ball back. He does another ball back into the middle. It's cleared out again, this time by Clower. Alexander gets a ball now. A little bit of a fight in the middle there. Alexander versus 2. Ball gets squirted over to the left corner. Adams State's chasing the ball. It rolls out of bounds for Fort Lewis throw. Looks like we're going to have a substitution coming in for Fort Lewis.
Yeah, it looks like Zach Lawrence over there. It's just not clean enough.
Long ball
at the
up the right-hand side. Clower with the ball. He goes up the middle of Capo, who misses a piece of it. It goes to Adams State's feet. Adams State hanging onto the ball in the middle. Threads up the middle. Proust able to strip the ball away, and now he's racing up the middle there. Play on, says the ref, when Proust got tripped up. Mike Brandt with a head up onto the middle there. Adams State picks up the ball, carrying up to the offensive left side for them.
That's just
little foul against Proust again at this time.
Yeah, I think that's just a frustration foul. We definitely need to get the game underhand again, though, if we want the result here.
I think the short little controlled plays, even bringing it back into their D a few times, settles Adams State down and allows them to move the ball better. Adams State with a set ball about just over half line. Long ball in the middle there. Looks like a little flick. Mike Brandt gets a head on it. Another shot by Adams State. It goes off of Fort Lewis for a corner kick.
Yeah, Adams State with a little bit of pressure here late, but only 10.5 to play, still 0-0.
Alexander coming out for Zach Lawrence coming back in at this time. Zach Lawrence coming in this time. He looks like he's going to stay on the right for the time being. Corner kick for Adams State. Bulk of their players on the backside. Long ball to the back post. There's a number 4 gets up for it, misses it by about a foot. It ends up bending out and rolling out for a goal kick. Fort Lewis pulls over to the left side with Dirksen. Dirksen's got space. He's challenged by 1. He long balls up the left-hand side, and the wind's going to push that one on out of bounds.
On that last sub, Terry, Tamino Kroger actually left the game. He was up top. Oh, no, he didn't. There he is. I'm sorry. He just jogged back for that last defending corner kick. For a moment, Casey Dean was the high player.
Yeah, Zach Lawrence actually moves back to his normal left-hand side.
Yeah,
Kroger's on top. Sorry for the radio silence there. Capo wins the ball. He's arcing up the left-hand side. Little dish into the middle for Lawrence. Lawrence is getting into the middle now. He's looking over to the right. Goes over to Dean. Dean back into the middle to Capo. Capo bounces back to Dooley. Dooley gets hit from the back but loses the ball. Adams State wins the ball and now carrying it up the middle. They work up to the right-hand side. Switches over to the left. 2 is running in on it on the left side. He long balls in. He gets called offsides. Number 23 with a slanting run up the middle. Gets called offsides.
Yeah, Dirksen saw that play developing early and he stepped up just in time.
So Fort Lewis will have the ball at the front of their offensive third. He long balls up the middle. Got some bodies in the middle there. Adams State wins it. Kicks it back out the middle.
I'm not sure why that's a long ball instead of putting the ball on the turf and playing some possession.
Yeah, Zach Lawrence with the ball now. Gets shoved out. It's a Fort Lewis throw-in. Dirksen with the throw. Dirksen short to Capo. Capo tries to flick over to Lawrence, but it gets played by an Adams State player. Now back to Dirksen. Dirksen got a little time. He sends up the line to Lawrence. Zach Lawrence now with the ball. He goes up to Capo, who's on the outside of the 18. He's got 2 men on him. He drops back to Dirksen. 1 man challenging Dirksen. Dirksen sees him coming, sends it over to the middle. Unfortunately, it's to the back side of the offense. They're having to work their way back against the grain now. Adams State's winning the bounce. Proust with a little challenge there on 29. Still hanging onto the ball. Yeah, we got ourselves a foul against Adams State. Proust really good about shielding the ball, staying between the ball and the player.
Yeah,
and in some cases drawing that foul because of it.
Yeah, very, very solid in that regard.
Capo now with the ball on the left-hand side, midfield. Looking for a longer ball in. I'm with you. I'd like to see a short ball in. He long balls that in. Little head flick. Oh, that was a nice little play. The keeper was out, but there were some defenders to cover it.
Yeah, I didn't see who that flicked on. Could have been Casey Dean. He was in the area. Definitely beat the keeper, but they're defensive players.
Another long ball in. This time to keeper. Oh, a nice little play by Fort Lewis. Was that Dooley just getting his feet into that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that was called just offsides.
Nice little play there. The keeper had no chance of getting a piece of that.
On these crosses, they're really enticing the keeper out of his box.
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of things can happen. If he's not standing between the posts, that means there's an open goal somewhere.
Keeper with a kick to the right-hand side to Adams State's player. Adams State chooses to drop the ball back. Zach wins it. Adams State kicks it out of bounds. Dirksen right at half field, left side. Proust trying to tell him to drop the ball back. He goes up the line forward. Kroger gets a piece of it. Now it's challenged by several. Dirksen still trying to fight for it. Kroger all the way back helping him out now. Keep on fighting.
Way to
play
stick
on,
with
says
it,
the
Kroger.
ref. A little bit of a trip there. Proust now with the ball. Proust able to hang on to it. He drops back to Dirksen. All the play right in front of us right now. Zach Lawrence getting tugged and shucked around as he hangs onto the ball.
Yeah,
nice
good battles.
Capo's got an opportunity in the corner here. 1 man challenging. Looking for a cut. He long balls to the near post. That's a great play. Adams State gets a flick on it right about mid-six.
You know, Capo didn't try to do too much. He attempted to serve. The defender was right there, so he just cut it back and then served the other way. Not trying too much fancy stuff.
Nicely done. Proust with the ball in the middle. He feeds up to Zach Lawrence in the middle. Capo now. Oh, we got ourselves another foul. This time against Zach Lawrence was the foul. It'll be a Fort Lewis ball about 10 steps outside the 18 in the middle. A great opportunity for Fort Lewis.
And on the tail end of that play, Casey Dean did end up putting the ball in the back of the net. However, I think some of the Adams State players had stopped prior to the whistle, so not much of an argument to play advantage and play on. Not far outside the box, though. 7 or so.
5 minutes left in the half. Piperkov and Capo at the ball. Got a 4-man wall with Zach Lawrence joining in.
I think we're going to see a Piperkov strike.
Piperkov with the strike. He chips it on up right at the keeper. The keeper has trouble gathering it up. Looked like Dooley was in there for a challenge, or maybe Dean.
Yeah, Dean pressing that ball after the keeper bobbled it. Good presence of mind to get in and attack that loose ball.
4.5 minutes left in this game. Shots show Skyhawks leading 13-5 at the moment. Haven't got the shot they want yet.
No, the one that finds the back of the net.
Adams State with the ball. They lose it to Proust. Proust switches the ball over to the right side. Piperkov chasing it down. Got one man on him. That one man wins the ball and is now carrying it up the left-hand side. Proust intercepts. Adams State continuing, moving the ball. They thread it up the left-hand side. We've got Clower chasing him down. The ball rolls out of bounds for a Fort Lewis throw.
Time dwindles. Hopefully we're not going to see an overtime.
So Dooley with the flick up through the middle. Guess that was Dean all the way back. He got in behind Dooley there. Zach Lawrence now has the ball on the left-hand side. He's got one man on. He cuts to the middle. No real challenge at the moment. Drops it back to Brandt.
And that's okay.
One man coming on him. He sends up the middle to Dean. Dean flicks to Zach. Zach's in the middle of the field now. Zach sends over to Proust. Proust over to the right side. We got one man on there. He tries to long ball it in, and ends up getting knocked down by an Adams State player and carried out. Adams State with a give and go. Got Clower managing to intercept that. Settling the ball down is Dirksen now. Dirksen, one man challenging him. He drops back to Packheiser. Packheiser has that one man pursuing, switches over to the right side to Clower. Aaron Clower now carrying the ball up the right side. One man challenges, sends up to Piperkov, who's way up on top at the moment. Inside to Dean. Adams State just staying in front of the ball. They're not pursuing quite as much right now.
No, they're really not. And Fort Lewis is doing a good job by being patient and keeping possession.
Capo with a shot towards the near post, about 10 steps outside the 18. Maybe a little bit ambitious on that kick.
Yeah, Fort Lewis, as of late, last couple minutes, doing a good job to really maintain possession of the ball, even if it's not at the goal, everything to the goal. Swinging it side to side, maintaining possession a little bit, it's going to be a little bit more effective as the waning moments.
Adams State with a kick up the middle. Capo gets ahead on it, sends it up to Kroger. Kroger loses the ball to Adams State. Adams State with a couple of head flicks now, still trying to get possession. Dean gathers up that possession, sends to the corner. Piperkov chasing the man down. Adams State kicks the ball out of bounds. Probably just a safety play there. He really didn't have the best angle.
Yeah, definitely.
Fort Lewis with the ball, Piperkov throwing. Piperkov long balls it in. It's about near the corner of the 6.
Kroger gets a
couple of head balls up in the air.
Dooley.
Gets flicked down. Now kicked out of bounds by Adams State. Nope, it didn't get the mileage on it that he thought. So it's still in bounds on top of the 6. Adam picks it up. Proust intercepts, flicks back into the middle of the 18. Kroger tries to spin and kick, ends up putting his leg right in the gut of an Adams State player. No real foul to be spoke of on that. Capo now has the ball. He drops back to Proust. Proust sends out to Dirksen on the left-hand side. One man challenging. He shorts over to Zach Lawrence. Zach Lawrence gets tripped up right in front of the referee.
Yeah, so that's been a matchup all game that Zach's really won.
Quick set play. Capo's got the ball inside the 18. No call. Now I'm talking in rhymes. Shame on me. Alberto Capdepone, you know, got tripped up in there. Not sure if it was really a clear foul or not. The referee didn't see it as such.
Yeah, everybody up in arms about it. Capo really felt like he was fouled.
Dirksen with the ball. He ends up going to Proust. Zach now challenging. Little head ball by Cloer. The ball is really hard to clear with the head right now. It's just not going anywhere. Even foot shots like that one by Piperkov didn't go far. Nobody able to settle the ball down. Finally, Adam State does so. Working up their right-hand side. Proust challenges, strips the ball. Now Zach Lawrence has it on his feet. He goes to corner to Kroger. Kroger's got one man on. Little heel to Zach Lawrence. Nicely done by Zach. We got ourselves another foul with only 4 or 5 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, only a few seconds left, and that was just a pure frustration call. Definitely worthy of a yellow card, as he saw none of the ball, just went for all ankle, as that same player had been beaten all game by Zach Lawrence out here wide, the number 4 senior, just frustrated.
3 seconds left in the game. About 10 steps outside on the left-hand side, outside the 18, we have the ball.
Which really, Terry, this has to be a shot or a quick little cross for a one-time header. It can't bobble around.
It's a 1-2, that's it. Capo has actually got the ball at his feet. Adam State got a 3-man wall at the moment.
You don't see this much. Look here.
Yeah, everybody is in the box now. Packheiser's the only one in defense.
And he called Dirksen back.
He calls Dirksen back. I actually think he ought to send him on in.
Why not? There's 3 seconds. Nothing.
Actually, Dirksen's in a good spot. If that ball gets put out, he's got a one-timer maybe. I say even throw the keeper in there.
Yeah, here's a little bit of jovial coaching. Both coaches up in arms, pointing at each other, pointing at something, pointing at anything. Adam State having a talk with the referee right now. He actually is holding his hand up like he wants it to be an indirect. I'm not sure if that'll be the case, but always something to say. There's now 6 seconds on the clock. It looks like they added
Alberto
3.
Capdepone, the Spaniard, is getting ready to send the shot in. We got a 3-man wall.
It's not going to be an indirect.
He's going to bend it to near post.
Referee's
with the way
hand
the wind's
down.
working. With the way the wind's working, it wouldn't surprise me a bit. And he does that, puts it right on near post there, but the keeper's able to gather it up.
Yeah, he's up for the challenge.
1.
And we are done with regulation, getting ready to step into overtime. 0-0 is the score, Skyhawks versus Adam State. Shots still show that Fort Lewis is leading in that regard, and ultimately doing better with possession.
Yeah, we are. We need to not lose track of what's effective and how we're getting it done, and a lot of that is moving the ball, passing the ball, and getting forward. So quickly on that last kick by Capo, we had a good angle on it. We were behind him, and there was a wall set, but beyond the wall there was 2 players that were right like on the 6 where you would ideally want to drop the ball. I would have, if I was a coach, wanted to pull that player out, have that free kick taker drop the ball on the 6, then you've got everybody crashing into where that's going to drop, instead of having a player set up there already that can easily clear it out.
I think just because we had the vantage point of standing right behind Capo, I could see his body language, I could see how he was shaping up to the ball. I pretty much saw he's going to use that wind and try to bend the ball down into the near post, exactly where he put it. And even if the keeper bobbles it, you got those 2 runners on the left side you spoke of to possibly clean up the action.
Yeah, and he was always going to shoot it. He was only
I think I saw it in his head.
Out.
It was a shot.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shot.
So
and we got Damian Clark and family walking the sidelines.
That's the head coach of the women's team.
I would say, hey, Tay, but he's not paying attention right now.
We've got 4 minutes until the start of the first overtime, Terry. I think one of these teams wants to be a game winner. I think it's in those waning moments of someone really taking control of the game. It certainly looked like Fort Lewis was interested in doing so late in regulation. Was it too late? We don't know.
Yeah, I think with about 3.5 minutes left, we're going to step away just for a bit to give time for a commercial break and wait for Fort Lewis and Adam State to, be prepared for this here. So anyways, you are listening to Fort Lewis College Men's Soccer on Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners.
So about 1:15, because those are always 2-minute breaks, huh?
Yeah.
Hey Victor, how you doing? Okay, okay, good. I should be there probably. I'm announcing the Fort Lewis College men's soccer game, and the game just ended, so I was hoping to be over there, but it's tied at 0s right now, so we may have a little bit of overtime, like 10 minutes each side of overtime. So latest I'll probably be there is 30 or 40 minutes, if not sooner. Yeah. Well, I know part of that's what we're working with. So if you look at the driveway, well, shooting grade with the transit, all 4 corners of the existing
And welcome back
are
to
different.
Dirks Field,
So
Fort Lewis
corners of
College, where the men's team is.
driveway.
Is just quick to go north-south.
Yeah, yeah, very.
Long throw in by Fort Lewis, ends up flicking it out for a corner kick. Capel should be the one taking this corner on the left-hand side.
You know, set pieces are always dangerous. Adam State's done a really good job this game of getting on the end of those, be it their own corner kicks or defending free kicks throughout the field.
Goalie's in the back third of his net with a couple of bodies on him. He's going to have a hard time moving. Ball goes to the far post, gets cleared out by Adam State. Zach Lawrence has it on the 18. Dean with a quick shot there up the middle. I'm kind of tangled up here. Got cables stuck between my feet.
Proust unable to really do too much, but it comes back
Proust
to him.
wins the ball back. Looking for a play up the middle. He kind of chips it into Kroger right there. Really had no chance of doing much with it. Ends up getting cleared out by Adam State.
Well, we're pressing the tempo, but there's not much time.
Short pass to Dirksen on the left side there. Dirksen loses the ball, and now Brandt picks it up. Brandt goes back to Dirksen with the ball. Dirksen with a long sweeping ball into the far post there. Everybody underrun at that. Wind pushed it outside.
Again, Adam State winning the headers. They're doing well defending those headers.
On the outside, we had Zach Lawrence with the ball in the middle to Proust. Proust with a foul in the middle, so it's an Adam State ball in their middle third.
Oh, now we get a little bit of change. Everybody going to the other half as Adams gets a free kick.
Adams with the free kick, everybody jogging back to do the defense in that. Packheiser on his 6. Long ball up the middle there. Adam State gets ahead on it. Nothing real of value there with that header. It kind of deflects outside. Clore picks it up and sends it up the right side. Long ball up the right side. It goes out of bounds about midfield.
Yeah, that was up in the stands. I don't know if that was just a missed kick or what, but anyways, I think we've got the 12th substitution for Adam State here as only 3 players come in this time.
Did they bring a second bus? Because there's an awful lot of kids coming in and out here.
I could be incorrect, but I think the rule is once you go out in the first half, you cannot come back in the first half, but second half is free reign, so you can come in and out as often as you want.
And we're in overtime, so what happens there?
There's just no rules,
no
period.
Rules. All rules are gone. Adams State with a clear back to their keeper. Got one man heading it back. That head back allowed keeper to pick it up.
Very smart move, as Capel was really on his heels.
Yep. Keeper with a long kick up the middle. Mike Brandt gets a head on it, sends it back to midfield. Having a hard time clearing the ball out. Anything going up in the air just kind of dies.
Yeah.
Adams State with the ball about midfield. They go towards their middle. Dooley with a disruption there. Casey Dean picks up the loose ball. Kroger bounces it back to Dooley. Dooley jogging it back up. He sends up to Kroger. Kroger going to run out of space, and he does so. Boy, but what a nice idea.
Great idea. Had Kroger gotten on the end of it, he was looking at the keeper for sure one-on-one, but unfortunately that was just a little bit heavy and in front of him.
Okay, we've got about 3 minutes left in the first overtime. Shot clock has basically stayed the same. The score is 0-0. Adams State with a ball kicked to the right that ends up rolling out for a Fort Lewis throw-in. Dirksen with the ball at half field. Little short throw to Dean, bounces back to Dirksen. Dirksen goes back to Mike Brandt. Brandt goes to Packheiser, the keeper. Mike Brandt with a longer ball up the middle to Piperkov. Piperkov up the middle to Kroger. Little flick over to Zach Lawrence, who's on the outside right now, and he goes into the corner right on the baseline. Gets an opportunity for a cross. He does so.
There's the goal!
There's the goal!
It's offsides, unfortunately, Terry. That was a phenomenal goal. It found Casey Dean with a diving header off of Zach Lawrence cross. Unfortunately, it's offsides, and Adams State is now playing. Let's see if Fort Lewis can get behind the ball here.
Adams State with a quick set play. Obviously didn't want much arguing to go with that. They wanted the play going the other way. What an excellent try, though. Unfortunate for the offsides call.
Even if it was offsides, what a great goal that was.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left. Referee's holding for a card against Casey Dean. He kind of came in from behind, sliding with cleats up, so he ended up getting the card.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of a frustration as his goal, potential game-winning goal, got called back. But also the referee, trying to maintain order in the game.
As the referee finishes the booking, Adams State will have ball about midfield. Packheiser on the 6.
Unlucky on that offsides.
Yeah, unfortunate for that offsides, doggone it. Okay, Adams State with the long ball in. They go right up the middle. Packheiser up for the ball. He bobbles the ball. The ball's loose and free. The ball goes in. Adams State scores the winning goal off of a miscue by the keeper. He went up for the ball, got hit by body, and it's unfortunate, but Adams State has won this game.
That's the roller coaster of college sports and sports in general. We went in a matter of seconds from thinking we had the game-winning goal on Casey Dean's diving header, Zach Lawrence cross, to being called offsides, all the way up to the other field. Packheiser comes out on the challenge. It made me a little nervous when he did come out. I'm not going to say he should have or shouldn't have, but regardless, the ball bounces around.
I really think he had no choice. The ball was coming in right about the 6, heading right for the net. He did time the ball up for a grab, and he did get his hands on it, but right when he got his hands on it, bodies were hitting him in the midsection, kind of knocking it loose.
Yeah.
And the ball just kind of died right there in the 6, and one of Adams State's players was able to clear get the ball in. So.
Yeah, unlucky. First overtime period finds Adams State climbing the ladder for a 1-0 victory.
So it is unfortunate that Fort Lewis College sees their first loss today in a game that they had to replay when they were leading. It's the way the ball bounces. That's why you got to play it out. So now Fort Lewis wrapping up today. They've got 2 more games to go straight into this Friday. First game coming in against University of Colorado Springs at 7 p.m. on Friday night.
Yeah, and that's frustrating going into that with today's result. I'm not going to say performance. I think the performance was okay. The result, unlucky and didn't quite get on the end of the right side on that. But hopefully they've got such a short time until their next game that hopefully they can bounce back and get a good result and change the momentum back in their favor.
And I agree with you. It was truly unfortunate. I think they Fort Lewis played an excellent game. There wasn't a lot of problems there, but sometimes it's about which team makes the least mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it shook out today. So anyways, the score ends Skyhawks 0, Adams State 1. They're going to be going home with the victory. You are listening to Fort Lewis College men's soccer on Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners. Have a good day.
Rubbish.
Man.
What a shit show. Should he have punched that? I mean, why try and grab that?
Well, if he didn't, who would?
Well, no, punch it out.
Oh,
instead of trying to hold on to it and then dropping a bobbled.
It kind of just depends on the goalie. I mean,
right.
I would have been a catcher in that in almost all cases, but you know, with the wind, even a punch is not going to clear really well. You know?
Sure.
I mean,
yeah,
you punch the ball out, and you punch the ball out, and it clears how far? You know?
Right.
And then another shot in. He made his play.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah, you can't fault him, but at the same token, damn frustrating. Oh, wasn't that a great goal?
Okay, let's try this again.
Hello, I am Brian Frederick. You're watching Inside Durango Television. Joining me is Ogie Kennedy, head coach of the men's Fort Lewis soccer program. Just coming off a game against Adams State. Unfortunate loss in overtime for 1-0. We played them on the Sunday that got rescheduled. How tough is that facing a team and then coming back to play the same team days later? I think it is a difficult task for our guys to do. You've obviously focused. We were 1-0 up in that game, and we felt that the result was we were 7 minutes away from the Lightning. So it's unfortunate that we had to replay the game, but you know, I think our guys did well enough today to win the game and should have probably gotten the result. That's good. That leads me kind of into my next question, Ogie. Result aside, because obviously we all would have liked a better result in that. Result aside, though, how do you feel they performed? You know, I think that we had, you know, the majority of the possession. We had some good chances. You know, we were unfortunate not to convert those chances. I think that, you know, when you don't make your dominance count, sometimes it can come back and bite you, and I think that happened today. But the most important thing for our guys now is this can't be a defining moment of our season. We have to, you know, refocus. We play on Friday, and that's where we've got to kind of get our heads at right now, is get our, you know, ready for that game against Springs. Absolutely. Good teams hit the reset button really quickly, coming off a loss or a win. So in 2 days' time, Fort Lewis men's soccer program will be playing UCCS up in Colorado Springs, and then on the Sunday against Regis. So what do you expect out of those games? What have those teams done thus far? Lead us into the weekend, if you will. You know, I think Colorado Springs are a program that have improved a lot over the last couple of years, and so we're expecting a tough game Friday night. And then obviously Regis had a great year last year, winning the conference, and so 2 tough games on the road, but I think that's probably what we need right now after today, is just getting back in the saddle and get going again. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Good stuff. Well, that's for me. We'll take a couple questions from the audience if anybody has any. Over here.
Coach, it seemed like you guys had a lot of direct shots that were on goal, but their goal just kept coming up save after save. You know, could you just talk about Adam State's goalie's play and kind of how he affected the game?
Sure. I think he was probably their best player. I think he made some great saves, and I think the fact he was as busy as he was probably shows how dominant we were in our attack, but just couldn't get it in the goal, which is I think in all sports probably the hardest thing to do is to score goals or score points or whatever it is. So we struggled a little bit with that today, but you know, we kept going and kept trying, and he made some good saves.
It looked like you guys had the winner at one point in the overtime. How do you, and then they called it back for the offsides, how do you kind of rein back in focus, or at least try to you think, or I guess, do you think that might have affected the way your guys played? Or how did that almost?
I think it's a great point. I think the next play is what they scored off. So we were obviously a little bit disappointed that that goal was called back. You know, I think it's tough to at that because you think it's over in overtime after scoring, but you know they went right down the field the next play, got a set piece and scored off it. So it was that was probably one of the things we could have done better on, was resetting a little bit quicker.
I think that's important in sports too, that momentum of the game, and finding that's not uncommon for teams to go from a super high to a super low, or vice versa, as was the result in today's game. So I'm Brian Frederick, joined with Ogie Kennedy, head coach of the men's soccer. You're watching Inside Durango Television.